Hi, Savannah. Hi, Tia. Hi, Elle. Welcome in. It's not 11 o'clock. It's not 11 o'clock. Hi, Simply Me. Hi, K Boogie. Hi, Jada. Hey, Proverbs 31. Welcome in. Hey, Miss Perry. Hey, Kita. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Care Bear. Hi, Lydia. Period, K Boogie. We love a Friday off. Hi, Lyrical Bookie. Thank you, Nike. You got faith in your girl. Okay. Hi, Suni. Hello again. Hello, hello. Hi, Hagatha. Period. We love a whole weekend off. Okay. Period. Hi, VJ. I know what that makes me think of. Hi, Simply Me. No, it didn't end abruptly. I planned to only do like 2 hours and I had to go pick up my kids and my niece. Hi, Jennifer. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Please let me, MK. Please let me. Hey, Nay. Don't be scared. I'm going to set some rules of engagement as we sort of come in together and we're all here together. And then that's going to be that. Hi, Fanatic. Hello. X has been going crazy. Hi, AS. Thank you. And we're back. And we're back. Hi, Destiny. Hi, D. You cleaning the house, period. Okay. Going into the weekend with a clean home. I know that's right. Hi, Quietly Becoming. Thank you for the heart me. Hi, Ari. So what do you mean they've been going crazy on Twitter? More than usual? Oh, guys, I'm so unserious. You're welcome, Dad. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Ari. Hi, Destiny. X keeps talking about this smear campaign that's been going on. I don't know. I don't know what they mean. Hi, Antoinette. Thank you, Dad. Hi, Ann. Hi, Destiny. Hi. My second time getting clipped on there. I'm already over there for what? House is clean, back porch not so much. Hi, Liz. Hi, Chalk Bunny. What's up, Sade? Hello, my loves. Hello, hello. Hi, Linz. Sounds good, Desi. I'm going to set some rules of engagement before we start anyway. So I haven't even talked about that girl. People wanted to be me so badly. The clip you're talking about, K Boogie, I wasn't even speaking. That wasn't me speaking. I'm on the panel, but I wasn't speaking. That was official Soul Bright that mentioned her. And it was like for that long in a live about Nicolandria Core. People are just, they sat in a however many hour long live to get that one sentence from someone. Hi, Oladol. So it's not me. I was just in the room. Oh, thank you, Marcel. Of course, they're obsessed with me. They're like, oh my God, Tina's there. Girl. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Kay. Girl, they are obsessed. Period, Aqua. Hi, Juanita. Hello, hello. If you were not here earlier, just so you know, I know, I heard Olivia. You saw me on live yesterday? Why you so obsessed with me? Yeah, I did. I did have like over 500 people in here. So if you were not here earlier, I'm going to host a live of Desi and we're gonna chat. Desi would like to address the fandom. Um, and you know what? Hold on, y'all. My group chat is going up. They just yapping in that motherfucker. Hold on. Okay. um, Period poo. So we're gonna host a live with me and Desi. I do want to set some rules of engagement. Desi wants to address the fandom. Desi wants to share her perspective on things. And so I'm going to give the floor to Desi to do that. I'm going to give the floor to Desi to share. Desi is Nicolandria Intelligence Department. Used to be Desi Overzealous on here. I'm going to give Desi the floor to share. And what we're going to do, we are going to keep it cute. And the way that we're going to keep it cute is that I'm actually going to put y'all on mute. So I'm actually going to turn off the comments for the first portion where I allow Desi to just lay everything out. And then we will reopen the comments for discourse. But I want Desi to be able to get everything off without being interrupted or without people derailing in the comments intentionally or otherwise. I just want her to be able to get it all out, and then we will get the comments going again. But I think that she deserves the floor to just share what I said, that I would let her do this. And so I'm going to hold the space for her in that way. So we're going to let her have the floor and do that. Okay. So I just wanted to set the rules of engagement so that everybody knows what's going on. It is only going to be me and Desi and Gigi up here, and Gigi is only up here on mute as mod. So when it's time to turn the comments back on, as we are engaging in discourse, Gigi will hop off mute on like mod breaks throughout as needed, and to gather the chat as needed. So just so everyone knows, okay? I just wanted you to know coming in what to expect. So that you are not confused, you're not in trouble because the comments are off. I just want Desi to be able to do what she got to do. All right. Okay. I'm going to bring them both up. Holla if you hear me. I'm going to go on, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Desi. Hey, Gigi. So yes, y'all, if you're just joining, hello, welcome in. We're getting ready to give Desi the floor. The comments are going to be off as we do that. And that is because I think that Desi deserves the space. Y'all asked me to host her. I said that I would. I think that we deserve, and she deserves to just have the space, and we can give it to her to share what she needs to share. And then we will reopen the comments for discourse after that. Okay. So even I'm going to shut up. Desi, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I think the best way to lay this out is how I tend to try to lay a lot of things out, and a lot of people get frustrated that I don't get to the point, right? They love the analysis, but they don't like that I don't get to the point. But to me, that type of patience and slowing people down, understanding is slow, reacting is fast. And so I think over time, it's been easy to misrepresent me and what my goal is, what my mission has been. And Tina, we've been aligned in a lot of ways, though I've said I'm much more biased, right? And my allegiances are very clear, right? There is so much misinformation and wanting to really look at people with objectivity, understanding that their behaviors say something about them, right? But also being open to people surprising me, growth, and that is within and outside the fandom. So I don't want to act like some person that thinks that they're benevolent, that's over here, everybody, I even get nervous when people are like, Desi, you're always right, you're never wrong. I'm like, I can be wrong. Every time I put up my phone, I want you guys to know that I care about what I'm saying, so that I take time to make these videos. It takes time to engage. That's why I appreciate when people say that it's like a TV show. Yes, come back, rewatch it, listen to it. It might not resonate with you now, but maybe it will later. I am in no way a fucking prophet. Excuse me. But those are the types of smears. People think that I have this like ego and this hubris that I don't have a lot of restraint. And there's been a lot of times where I've seen other people like you, people like Sade that have been targeted, right? That our discussion and commentary is taken as quote unquote hate and crucifixion. Critique is crucifixion, it would seem. So when I've had to turn the lens in on the fandom, it has never brought me joy. When I first said Nicolandria Core crossed a line with me, not that they got on board episode 21, right? But they said that. I watched them, I witnessed it, I was in the live, and the next day is where they showed me who they were, right? Situations don't make you, they reveal you, in my opinion. So, okay, we learned all these things about you, right? How do you handle this situation? When you get the opportunity and you fly onto a panel, which is what I witnessed, I believe the same girl that was on live just yesterday, right? So this is a continuation. This girl came on the live, was very combative, was very race first, right? Like they're being racist to us, and then proceeded to lie, right? Retell the situation in a way that painted her and Nicolandria Core, absolved them, right? Turned it back on the fandom, said, you guys attacked us, you did all this to evade accountability. And that was a trigger for me. I'm like, you weren't honest. Rather than own it and say, we got on board. Yes, we like these other islanders. We saw this, we liked this. We saw, you know what I mean? The opportunity to support this couple, and we went with it. I would have respected that, and we could have moved on from there, right? It was when they chose to lie to the fandom and villainize the fandom to absolve what they could have just stood on, right? And really just, owned and moved on. I made it known later on when questions came up about them, when they were tagging Olandria, when the Agua Core whole debacle, or when the Agua Core, when the Agua Party whole fallout came, right? Later, I would learn that it was Mystic Attorney, somebody that I exposed that was a part of the Avenger clique, because I saw a video and I remembered that entitlement, that there are certain signs, and Play, who made the Invisible String Theory video, also tried to speak to that because she was in K-pop and that fandom, and she tried to, around the Agua Party, raise, the alarm. She had said multiple times, like you have, Tina, that there is unsettling behavior in our own house. So if we, are looking out, we have to look in. It is just as dangerous. Play said something, you said something, I said something. We were talking about this. And so the Agua Party felt like the pinnacle of it all. Play says something. I watched how they clicked up on her. I watched how I made a comment about how I had, speculation. People had come to me with rumors about overstepping of boundaries. These Nicolandria Core girls, right? This whole Avenger clique, that there was a pretense of the Nicolandria Core girls overstepping boundaries with Olandria's family. And I said, oh, what? And so when Play is talking about K-pop, I'm connecting that, right? But I don't air it out in the comment, but I allude to something similar. Sharon gets me in the comments and immediately, or gets me in the DMs and is like, what is this? You know what I mean? And walks me down, right? Like, is defending Nicolandria Core. There's multiple times I had interactions with Sharon where she defended these people, and now against my discernment, I held on to it, right? Where I'm just like, well, I can't air this out. I don't want to damage Olandria. I think about the things that I say, what I post, how information can be weaponized, even if it's information about other islanders. I don't have glee with exposing certain information that could also dehumanize them. That's not the point. So long story short, there were multiple instances with Sharon that I had trusted her, and she defended these people. They clicked up. EJ was a part of that, and that's where I took a step back from EJ. I have respect for EJ. I've defended EJ. I respect how EJ has taken accountability. When EJ, when the fandom was too much for EJ, EJ took a step, has engaged at his level, right? The way he handled last night, hats off. Thank you from start to finish, right? At first I was like, you're losing me, you're on bullshit. But he gathered it, right? He understood that I respect when people are presented more information and they take that information in and then they can make whatever judgment from there. And I respect that, right? I'm not going to judge you for not having the information, but when the information has been continually presented and you've avoided it, you've dispelled it, demeaned it, done all of that, smeared people that have tried to show you that information, that's where you start losing me. And that's the case with Lana. That's the case with Sharon. And that's, now Kayla has inserted herself. But for me, it's the Agua Party. A lot of the fandom goes back to the Agua Party as where a lot of the breakdown within the fandom came, where this hierarchy was very obvious, that these certain people wanted to anoint themselves as certain generals, the Avengers, right? But what did they really avenge? Themselves, each other, clout. They protect each other. This was the pattern. And the way that they turned around and told everybody that they were jealous that we didn't get the opportunity to go. And later I found out through my investigation with Mystic and everything that was exposed with that they had extorted the brand, that is a part of it, that these sycophantic fans had gone to Agua, said that they had felt slighted in this and their contribution and the promotion and all of that. And that's how these select extra fans outside of the competition were able to secure these invites, that they lorded over the fandom. And this was something that none, Lana and Sharon didn't want to claim with Mystic. They hid her, knowing she had stolen from Black women. We have the receipts on that. Services were paid for, never delivered on. And they never aired this woman out, despite her being harmful in Black spaces and proving to be that, and showing an inherent entitlement to Nicolandria, that they didn't do anything because they knew that she was the one that went to the brands. She's the one that told them, oh, well, I crowdfunded to do a meet and greet with Nick. Mind you, she got arrested and they all defended her. They all protected her and didn't tell anybody. And that was, I think, in like September before the Agua Party, where they could have already done that, but they kept her around. And, she pops back up, still owing people money. And then she gives them an idea to go to the brands, extort the brand, and then to come to the fans to crowdfund. And I'm like, so you guys did that under false pretenses. You know what I mean? You didn't tell people how you actually got those invites. You said you were the shit and we were supposed to buy it. And then, acted how you acted at that actual event. Months later, I guess they knew back then in October that Mystic wasn't shit, long story short, and wasn't safe for Black women. And they still didn't say anything. But then when I see her make a video talking about Nicolandria picking white lawyers and all of that, and showing that she had some weird entitlement and thought that her position as a super fan or an Avenger was going to get her a job as Nicolandria's lawyer. And she was very angry and resentful. All the receipts are on my page. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, whoa, this is weird. This is the behavior we need to mitigate. This is not what we need to be doing. Nobody should think that their fan, their support would get them in a job, get them in a career, return on anything, right? And we saw this yesterday with these Nicolandria Core girls. So to me, it's a pattern of these people protecting these type of people at the expense of Nicolandria and expense of the health of the fandom. When Lana came out and was defending later, just a couple months ago, they want to act like it was so long ago, right? This was not that long ago. This was literally within the last 60 days, right? That this all went down, from my recollection. And they dispelled it. Lana reinforced a lot of anti-Black misogyny, a lot of regressive things that I had been working for months to get away from in my content, right? Of like, no, when we're observing this media, this is how we should look at it. We can't stop Black women from going in that villa, but how can we be better as the audience when we're looking at this? How can we know who to make famous, right? Like, again, like, how do we ensure somebody's going to get, some type of clout? What are our standards? How are we examining the standards and the things that we hold on to people, but ourselves, right? That type of culture work was really I felt like Lana was being very regressive in the moment when she was trying to defend those girls. And I felt like that was deeply hurtful because you've anointed yourself as some type of, on a pedestal as this figure in the fandom, and you're taking us back 10 months, right? Like, we've already done the work for this. And to me, it was very cliquish. It was very cultish. It was very hive mind. And when I said, and a lot of people have it misunderstood. Okay, very clearly, I want everybody to know I never wanted Lana or Sharon to defend me ever for the smears on Twitter, the Reddit, up and down this app and back. Never needed anybody to step up and defend me. What I clearly stated to Sharon and to Lana and posted the receipts, I said, it is not, you are defending these people. I've never been defended. What you defend says a lot about you. You've never said anything about me. I have never gone against Olandria. I don't need that from you, but I'm trying to articulate to you what I'm seeing here, right? I have never gone against Olandria. You can't pull up no bullshit like that. You don't have to support me and what I'm saying or whatever, but to see what people have done to me and stand by it. And I have never used that to evade accountability. When I have said something that's triggered a reaction where I'm like, my message isn't getting across, let me modify. That happened with the Shelly back in July, right? When I picked up my phone angry. I've never picked up my phone like that again. Maybe last night with the lives and stuff, but hey, time and place. But for me, I never picked up my phone again that angry. Because I was like, all right, that's the one thing I can change, right? Like I might have opinions, this, that, and the other, but I can change the level of emotion I bring to it, right? And even Sade, before I came up here, was telling me, Desi, do it like talk on Tina's live like you do in your videos. And I'm like, I hope I can get there, right? Because I've been really beat down, right? And really hung out to dry. And Lana, Sharon, and Kayla clicked up to evade accountability when I posted about this. When I aired Lana out, I said, absolutely not. No, none of this is okay. And the way you're acting isn't okay about it. And this is revealing a lot about you and everybody that's standing next to you. I'm judging that. And I said it straight up to Sharon. And then Sharon blocked me, telling our mutuals, lying, being manipulative, in my opinion, this is my perception, that I made it out to our other Black mutuals that I had made a space for her to be disparaged in my comments. Maybe Lana could say that, right? Like Lana could have maybe said that, not Sharon, never. But there were people that were saying they were questioning her for her proximity. But I was like, because no, it was never that for me with Sharon. And I have repeated that. I followed up and said, do not send Sharon hate. But I am judging your loyalties to these people. And I've come to you on multiple occasions over multiple months. And I trusted you. And now I can't. And I will tell people that. And I think a lot of people don't understand why I specifically talked about Lana and them and said I divest. It's because when I initially called out Nicolandria Core and said, I saw them lie. I'm not going for it. A lot of grifters. I find grifters everywhere, wherever I go, whether I'm talking about leftist politics on this internet, talking about anything, it ends up happening where I'm like, you're not here for the right reasons. But to counteract that negativity of bringing that up, I went through and named all the Nicolandrians that I did love, that I did support, right? And that turned into somebody making it weird for clout. So I put it down for a second, but I would love to do that again after all of this, right? Because there are so many people I think that are amazing, that I support, right? And Lana and Sharon were one of them, right? I no longer endorse what they got going on. So I had to say it, and I said it respectfully, and I never told anybody to divest from them. They sent bots. And I mean, like, it was like maybe not bots, burners, right? Like that, multiple people noticed the pattern of coordinated behavior monitoring that happened after that. We couldn't just part ways. We couldn't just be in shared spaces. I was triangulated by Sharon to our other Black mutuals. She wasn't, leading up front. She said, Desi didn't do anything to me, but it was the comments on our video. But I'm like, what comment, right? Like, what is it? And there wasn't anything for that. And then I'm being asked to come to Sharon, but I'm like, Sharon blocked me. And Sharon knows that I came to her directly when she asked me, and I told her where I stood and I said, good luck. Right. And I have that receipt that I would share. It's on my page, but it was very respectful. But I'm like, the more that's come to light and your blind loyalty to Nicolandria Core, I no longer have the respect that I once had. The live that you shared, it was awful. And then Lana went on live for 2 days after that, made me the scapegoat. They said I wanted to take her space in the fandom. That is not my ministry, right? Like the clout and this and that. And it was never about that, right? I did bring something from another app to this app because I wanted people on this app to know, right? Like, this is what's going on, because a lot of people wouldn't do their due diligence. But I never wanted to send these women hate, and I knew people would still support them. But for them to now act like they didn't know how bad it was, or that there was enough, and that Lana didn't show that she was too close, maybe not as extreme as this other girl proved herself to be yesterday, but really close. I would be curious what they talk about in them group chats that they're protecting with their lives. You know what I mean? And that's why they're doing a lot to just not own what's going on here. I think people are showing that they're complicit, and then their ability to lie and twist things like Kayla was doing on that live. And even Sharon, right? Like, Sharon had a lot of bass in her voice and was talking really clearly to me when I was trapped in the comments, but wouldn't come up and face me, and neither would Lana. They sent me hate. They have reported me on our mutuals lives to the point where mutuals have had to block them, and we haven't had the same type of reporting. So their allegiance to other islanders and to these types of people have been why I've said, I can't rock with this. And I don't necessarily think that it's fair for them to act like it's brand new when they didn't do a lot to suppress these girls being like this, right? They have a clout club, right? And they protect it more than Nicolandria. And I've been the bad guy for pointing this out, putting receipts up. And then it's turned into Desi is causing infighting. Desi wants to divide, all of that. No. But if you're harmful to Black women, I'm going to say it. If there's white people in our mostly Black space, it is my biracial duty to use my privilege to look that white woman in her face and tell her, you are too comfortable. You are not moving right. Because none of the women that I'm in community with, the monoracial Black women, the women that don't move in the world with the privilege that I do, the insight that I do from having a white mother and moving and having proximity to white privilege, it is my duty to say something when people like that are harmful. And especially when other Black people are enabling them. I'm sorry. It might be uncomfortable, but for Black folks to get a check and they think having white faces around them, it's not missed on me that when Sharon had something with me, and she knows I only move with Black folks. I don't have white allies. I have white accomplices, right? With the Mystic stuff, the people that were my white mutuals were accomplices, right? Like that's how I move, right? Like, if you're white and you're in these spaces with us, you know how to move, and that's why you're here. So don't, Kayla wasn't moving like that. She's not used to this side of the fandom. Very obviously. They let these types of people flourish, and then they have this weird entitlement to Nicolandria. It's a cancer. And I would like to just end it here, y'all. Let's discuss it. Let's whatever. I never want to bring Sharon hate, but I think Sharon hides a lot behind her identities. In a lot of instances when, yes, she gets hate. People have said heinous things to me. I have all of the proof for the things that these people are using to evade their complicity and their own accountability. That to me is frustrating. That to me is what's hurtful, right? I don't need anybody to defend me, but don't try to act like I'm on the same level or I'm some type of enemy when y'all have dirt and somehow I'm the op, I'm the problem. Right? So when I'm watching them devolve, them manipulate, Kayla trying to be in our spaces now, trying to pull these narratives, I'm like, you're doing damage control. You know that you were lying on that live. You know you were calling me a weirdo. You know you're continuing to lie and misrepresent me. And you think you can do that because you are a white woman that hasn't done the right work to be in these spaces, and you're looking at me and my complexion and you think we're the same. And I'm saying no. And you try to do this type of shit, and she found out real quick on that panel last night what was real. No, all the Black women in this room know that I'm also a Black woman when it comes to you. So no, I don't know who you think you're talking to. Yes, it will get real passionate. But at the end of the day, my mission has always been to protect the fandom, to air out bad actors if you are harmful. I don't care if we don't get along. I'm not coming for people. There are plenty. I know how to block. I know how to mute. I wish people would do it more to me before making me content on Twitter, clicking up with the ops, joining up, doing actual infighting that I don't think Nicolandria would like, because Nicolandria never even gave up on EJ. And I loved her for that, right? So don't act like she would denounce me. Okay. I know how to act right. I know, you know what I mean? But I will defend myself and nobody's going to gaslight me. Right. I've never lied to y'all. Okay. If I don't have the right information, I try to clear it up. There was one time, and y'all like to play with the ops with this narrative, and it's really frustrating. One time on a live, we discussed the true information about Ace's legal name. His legal name is Ace. In those documents, because he mentioned that's his legal name. Anybody with sense knows if you're going to say that somebody's going to go look for that document was given to me. I didn't go look for that document. People don't realize people send me stuff. Okay. So I don't be going in and looking for this stuff, but he knew that he said, I legally changed my name. People found the document. He knew what was in that document. Nobody wanted to weaponize that information. That information was shared once on a live. And I said, I will never call him on purpose. It slips out, Alan, intentionally, because of my experience with what he alleged in that document, right? I'm not here to hurt anybody. I hope Alan grows up to be an exceptional man, right? I feel like my commentary keeps that in mind. People are redeemable, especially Black people. So you'll never have that for me, right? But I will be critical of Michelle, and she has a lot of complicity. Her fans are complicit, but I'm not gonna say that I haven't experienced Nicolandrians coming at me and making me think that they are the ops. They are the snarkers, right? So no, right? Like I know it comes from in our fandom, we have these types of cancers. So my resolve, I'm gonna, end here, y'all. We can clarify in the discussion, but I want everybody to know I do want to move on to better and brighter days, to have better standards, to be happier in our fandom, and to understand what we want moving forward. And it can't all be toxic positivity, right? Everybody has their different means of entry and all of that. But I think we've really lost the plot as far as idolizing fans of like of Nicolandria. Like the hierarchy is something that I think has been the biggest issue, and that people not seeing that sometimes people care more about clout than the actual topic that they're talking about. So thank you, Miss Tina. Thank you, Gigi, for giving me this space. Thank you guys for listening. There's a shit ton of people in here. And I mean, I also think that I would like to say before we sign off, people can talk to me, right? If you I will look at a DM, or if you send me a comment, you know what I mean? If people really actually want to have a discussion, I'm always open to that. But I don't argue. I really don't, right? I say what I say. And, if you don't want to engage, you don't want whatever, I encourage people to block or whatever. I don't think I'm always right. I actually think y'all are jinxing me. I'm going to start thinking y'all want something bad for me if you keep saying I'm always right. I'm not. I'm open to being wrong. I try to be around other people like Miss Tina, Gigi, Sam, Sade, all these different types of people that polish me and measure me, quiet thoughts, right? Even the tightest Nigerian kitty, just different people that come from different angles that bring different analysis that have kept me measured. So I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you. I'm going to go mute now.
I appreciate Desi choosing to come into the space and trusting the space enough to share her side of things. I appreciate those of you that have chosen to sit in the live without the comments on and to quietly give her the space to do that. I am going to let Gigi in just a second open up the comments for discourse. Yeah, I feel like I hear you about a lot of it, right? Like I hear you about all of it. I can relate to a lot of what you're saying, right? I agree. I think that, a lot of it is go quietly into the night, guys. If you don't agree, go quietly into the night. I think that, I love you naming, like, if we're going to look outward, then we also have to be willing to look inward. And while you all know that I say all the time, I'm not in the fandom, I do that on purpose because I see how sometimes the fandom can be. And so I'm like, whoa, let me actually take a step back. Let me be as like, I like Nick and I like Nicolandria, and let me just like them maybe separate from the fandom. But I do think it is to be able to look inward because that's in which you protect. Right. And so, also name just to be authentic and, as transparent as I choose to be on the internet. I'm not going to say that I don't understand an instinctive reaction to protect people that you perceive to be your friends. But Desi is naming something that we have all named, especially if you've been in my lives and in my panels before. You also have to be open to new information. I mean, you could do whatever you want to do. I would hope that you are grown enough and mature enough, since you're engaging on these interwebs, to be open to new information. So it is natural, I would say, to be like, well, like if someone came to me about Gigi, or someone came to me about people that I talk to outside of this platform, right? Nikki, I'd be like, oh, that's not the way that I experience them, right? That's not what I know to be true about them, right? People that I've been vibing with since I would have an initial response of like, oh, I don't know if that feels accurate to me. And I tell you all the time, I want to see it. I want to see the data. And if I can see the data and the data supports what you are saying to me, I am willing to change my mind. And I think that is the request overall that's being asked, is that when people present data to you, even if that data feels uncomfortable, allow yourself to be open to it. Or don't, but quietly go into the night. Don't then villainize me or make me the jerk or make me out to be the crazy deranged person. Just go quietly into the night. That's fine. But to then ostracize or villainize people, that is where the harm comes into play, right? And I think and I say to y'all all the time, this is the other thing I really agree with, right? You are the company you keep. And I usually say, including the people you're fucking, but you are the company you keep, right? And so if you are aligning with and protecting certain things, that does make me curious about you. That does make me say, I might take a step back, right? And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. And I also don't think it's anything wrong. And I think I'm understanding this correctly, Desi. Like if she gave a public statement around support of someone and then realized, oh, I'm not going to support that person anymore, she absolutely should make a public statement withdrawing that support, because I've put my name on something that now I'm like, ooh, I actually want to remove my stamp of approval. Did I understand that right, Desi?
Yeah, because I just feel like, and I did it, I felt like still in mind of not trying to alienate the people that we would still share as mutuals, right? Like, to that degree, right? Because I have walked this out, in particular with Sharon. I felt like I had walked it out with her in a sense of like trusting her and kind of just like erring on the side of she didn't have all the information, or you know what I mean? And also not trying to really hold people accountable for people we see with each other in proximity on the internet, right? Because I had always said like, I'm looking more at these people, but like, you know, when some people think of Avengers, they think of other people. I'm not talking about EJ. I'm not talking about Leo. I'm not talking about Mila, right? And so you get in the weeds with that and people feel hit, right? And so there might have been times where I had talked about Avengers and I might have been talking about the idea and concept of them that made people more defensive up front. So like now I feel like Sharon might think that I've always had it out for her, or like, you know what I mean? Because there was a switch where I was like, all right, now I'm good, because we had walked it out and I was just like, this is where my line was. And I felt like I was clear about that, but I understood her emotion. And I think initially I was very feeling my own emotions, less empathetic as I would naturally err on. I wasn't saying no, you know, I'm like, her feelings are valid, but like, you know, I'm starting to get in mine. So I appreciate having this space here, right? Because her feelings are valid. And I know a lot of people, we don't want to hurt each other here. So like, that's where I was always at. Even if we don't agree, we still share this space. And I still, even with Sharon, I hope she's okay. That's where I'm at.
I think that is such an admirable and like important skill to be able to have, to be able to say, I can recognize like moments in which I was emotionally charged and emotionally triggered, and normally as a human reacted out of that sometimes. And now I can take a step back and say, okay, how can I actually approach this maybe in the way that I truly want to? So I appreciate you also like very clearly naming that. Gigi, I want you to go ahead and turn the comments on. I do see that it's like 703 of you all in here. So I'm going to go ahead and let Gigi do a mod break, but I am going to give a disclaimer, and I'm sure Gigi is going to give some level of this too. I don't play about certain shit in my space, y'all. With 700 of you in here, I'm sure that some of you have like probably never been in my space. So let me just be very clear. We don't do massage noir. We don't do misogyny. We don't do anti-blackness. We don't do T-phobia. We don't do H-phobia. We don't do ableism in my space. If you do that shit, I will block you. If you move even slightly funny and I have to wonder what you mean, I'm going to block you. I run a very strict program about how I like to have my space be and what I like to cultivate in my space. If you attempt to rage bar in my comments, block. Okay? Gigi likes to be called Blockarella. All right, I'm gonna let her do a mod break. I'm gonna take a bio break and then go ahead and turn the comments on.
All right, guys. So as Tina said, I like to be Blockarella. At this point, some of y'all have already exceeded the limits of my medication, so we're not playing this game today. That being said, I stand wholeheartedly 10 toes behind Tina in protecting her space. So before I turn the comments on, I want to be very, very clear about something. Sorry, I'm giving up my Battlefield game for you guys, so y'all know how serious this is, because y'all know I don't play about my Battlefield. So I'm giving up my match for y'all. But that being said, if somebody tussles in the comments with you and they are just coming back at you and y'all are just tussling and there is no phobias happening, there is no anti-blackness happening, I'm going to let it ride. Please do not think that after 4 decades on this planet, I don't notice when you're trying to reach just to get somebody out here. So just so you know, the other person in the previous live was addressed because of something that I noticed. So that's why they were addressed. However, I did also notice they were tussling with a couple people and they tried to hide behind it. So that is not going to happen. If I do see it and I recognize it and it's just tussling, I'm going to let y'all tussle because y'all grown and y'all decided to type it. So other than that, you've been giving your marching orders. Let's get it together. It is 694 of you in here. I expect y'all to tap it up because I will be I got my contacts. I got my new contact lenses in. So I will be paying attention to the screen. I'm going to turn on the comments. We're going to make sure you tap it up. It is a minute after the hour. You have 10 minutes to get it to 225. I know y'all can do that because it's almost 700 y'all in here. So y'all better tap. Y'all got 10 minutes to get to 225K. Get going.
Okay, so the comments are coming back on. I appreciate y'all for sitting tight with us and Desi. Please feel free to discourse. Desi, I also am so clear that like I am holding this space for you to do what you need to do in this space. So y'all are free. Give us free. Not them begging to be unblocked by you in the comments, Desi.
Y'all, I was actually unblocking everybody that followed me after that live last night. I went private while we were in that live because I said, wait a minute. Y'all ain't about to get me after certain things went on that devilish white South Africans app. I knew. Plus, we went in that live. I said, y'all ain't about to get me. So we're on private right now. Regrouping. Thank you guys in the comments. Thank you for the gifts too. Thank you. Literally, okay, you guys are saying I did good. Okay. You guys know I have ADHD and I've been on a med break. So realistically, you get what you get, I guess. Yeah, I feel a lot better now. I feel like I got it off my chest. I believe and I think I've spoken to, and I think I've connected it to Nicolandria a lot about radical vulnerability, right? And I believe in that, right? So, and the way that a lot of the ops have tried to come at me, like, I'm like, you can't, there's nothing they can do now, right? But I don't want that to make me radioactive to the fandom. So I'm very grateful for Tina and Gigi for guiding me through this because they ain't gonna run me off, right? Like, but I do think that we need to establish new rules together. I really think even Tina's talked about it a lot, but the hierarchy in this fandom, I feel like, is the biggest problem. And I know that even I don't want that for people with me either. Like, I'm like, please check me, boo. And you guys are the space that I seek that for. That's why we have these conversations, and that's why I haven't allowed the fear of being clipped to really prevent us from talking. I have tried to be mindful of what we say, but the fact that they had to, like Tina said, take hours and they couldn't get us, but that little snippet that wasn't even, hey, if that's the worst you can do, okay. But so we're definitely getting smarter. So I don't know. We're figuring it out. Tina, is it just me up here? Don't just make it me.
We can
You're gonna bring Sade up or someone? I'm like, somebody come up here.
But someone does actually have a question for you.
Okay,
so
yeah.
What they said was they were curious, like, what gave it away for you? How were you able to spot? You all are welcome, y'all. I'm always happy to host a space. But someone wants to know, like, what made it click for you about Nicolandria Core? How did you realize that they were clout chasing?
Well, to me, like I think I said, situations don't make you, they reveal you. So to me, the way they acted in the live, right? I was like, hey, if this is a little jerry rig, okay, cool, whatever, right? It was what it was. But I was, as a fan, disappointed, right? I'm listening, I'm engaged, but you broke trust with me immediately when you lied. It was less about your integrity, and to me that would have spoken to your values, and that would have been like the values we know we share with Olandria, what's made us a fan of Olandria. So to me, Olandria and people like her would respect you for being flawed, would respect you if you made a mistake, or you know what I mean, just own it, right? I would have respected them. When they didn't do that, I said, you care about what you've built more than you care about coming clean. So you don't respect the fandom and you don't respect Olandria, right? And if you liked other people, sorry, for me, I'm strict. I've always been strict. If you wanted Olandria off that island, you have internalized anti-Black misogynoir, and you need to examine that, right? Like everybody that wanted her put the mule down after they done used and abused her, and then now we got to dispose of her, and it's making you cringe and you feel physically ill seeing her go through this, rather than rallying for her, shipping her with the damn day beds like the rest of us, then examine that. That's not on Olandria, that's on you, right? And so I'm not gonna hold you to the fire and condemn you for saying you wanted her off that island, but how do you feel now, right? Where are we gonna work on this now, right? How do you feel now? And the people that don't want to do that work, I can't trust you.
Hi guys. Hi
Hi,
everybody. Desi, I just want to say, oh, friend, I feel so proud listening to you explain yourself. Like it was so eloquently explained. It felt good to hear you articulate yourself so well. I think anybody that had any confusions about where you stood, where you come from, what you got going on, like it was very clear. And damn, girl, you did that. Thank you, Miss Tina. Because I feel like even some parts that maybe wasn't super clear, you extra clarified it. And like, I felt like you was on the money what Desi was saying. And yeah, like, all right. Sorry, when y'all first put me up, my mom calls me. But I'm back
I was
now.
like, she's loading. I'm gonna just drop her and bring her back.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, my mom FaceTimes me.
And I do want to say for the comments, like I'm not going around with a magnifying glass being like, who loves Olandria? Do you love Olandria? But if you do some weirdo stuff, yeah, Sam and I are going to be watching you, right? Like that's just inherently how we are. Like if you are going to be weird and unsafe in these spaces, I'm going to come to you correctly. I came to Mystic correctly the first time, right? And sorry, I was out of character with Kayla, but I said, girl, you are not safe. And you are over familiar. And I'm going to make sure everybody here hears me say that. And I'm going to say that because especially if you're white in these Black spaces, yeah, I'm going to ring the alarm. So be afraid of me if you're white. But like with Black folks, you don't see me coming out for each other. If anything, we're in the group chats. We can talk about these things. And that happened with Sharon. And Sharon wasn't sharing that yesterday. That's the only thing. But outside of that, we could have had open lines of communication. Do not think that we can manipulate each other and Desi's not going to start spazzing out. That's really where I'm at.
Yeah. I think that a lot of times, hey guys, I think a lot of times that some people were being a little bit dishonest and a little bit disingenuous because, okay, I don't have an issue with people say, who weren't Nicolandria initially and they grew to be Nicolandria, down the road. But don't come in these spaces and then make yourself the leader, the head honcho, after you knew you didn't like them in the beginning. And that was really my issue with the Amber girl. I was like, Amber, you were in our spaces. You were in our group chats. You were in our Discord. And you had videos up where you were like, Olandra needs to be sent home. I don't understand why she doesn't see about Taylor. Like, it's so clear, da 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 da. And when we brought this up to you in December and we dropped you from our group chats, now you're on Threads, a platform that I do not use, trying to address me after you've also blocked me on TikTok. And you're acting like these are videos and these are situations that you've never heard of before. You're just asking for receipts that you know you've already deleted, Miss Mamas. I don't understand that. You know you deleted the receipts, and now you know that we've seen that and we're mentioning it to you, and you're saying, show the Carfax. I can't show you Carfax that have been deleted, ma'am. You made videos saying that, oh, Ola, if you don't, and this one is still on her page. Oh, Ola, I can't believe you've fallen over Taylor. And then she put a picture of Nick. Oh, yeah. If you don't want him, send him to me. I can show you what to do with them. Pregnancy pause. That's what I gave y'all. Cause girl, what are you talking about? Like, and I'm Tina, I don't address people like this. But don't ever in your life come on a live that I'm on where I'm trying to make sure that everyone gets their point across and tell me to shut the F up. Who are you feeling like? Let me know.
I got her for you in the comments though, right after Lauren.
Okay, because TikTok sure did. My SSRIs had worn off and I was about to pop off. And TikTok sure did put me in a timeout. They did. They sure did. They absolutely did. But I am on Lexi today, so that's why I'm very mindful, very demure. Okay.
So you also know she's talking about hi Miami. She's talking about Amber. I've never seen that woman. Sorry to this man. If I saw her walking down the street tomorrow, I'm sorry. I would not know who she is, but that is who she's talking about. For those of you that might be following and are like, oh no, now that I know that, I don't want to follow her.
Yes.
If you don't know who she is, you probably don't follow her.
And that's a good thing. And another thing, Tina, and see, I feel like even with Desi, sometimes we hold things and we try to handle it internally. We don't bring it to the live. We talk to them personally before it becomes a big thing. Amber also was, after she was talking Cash Money about, NATO, and she was like, oh, they crowdfunding, they're being very parasocial, they're being weird. But then after that, you went on Sharon's live and was like, I just want people who are like-minded and supportive. You're there creating videos of weddings, imaginary weddings, on a couple that had just gotten together a month ago. Yes, I'm Nicolandria down, but that's weird. You don't think that's strange? That's not odd to you? You making wedding videos and planning a wedding of a couple that just got together a month ago? At 30, I'm 30. At your big age. This is what we do with our time on the internet.
Listen.
Oh, thank you. I am very whimsical.
About that wedding stuff. Because they married y'all. Sorry about it. I'm sorry, baby. That I like that wedding video, but fuck that bitch. All right, listen. listen, Linda. Why did she come for me, y'all? I've never said a bad word about this girl. Even when Spice was telling me about what happened between him and her, I wasn't pushing back on Spice, but I was literally like, really? I've only ever seen her say positive stuff. Like I was very much, again, because I love my friends. But I'm not no following ass bitch. I'm gonna do what I want to do at all times. At all times. I'm gonna fuck with who I want to fuck with. I'm gonna not fuck with who I don't want to fuck with. That's it. Right? So I I'm on hots about Alandria in the motherfucking live, y'all. So I'm not like sorry to you, EJ, because he did handle that good. Like, right? It made me like him even more. He really did. But I was on hots. I wasn't hearing nothing, bitch. I needed to get my point across. Y'all bitches had me fucked up. Y'all over here acting like y'all don't know what this bitch said. And y'all know what this bitch said. Like, y'all not finna play with me. Right? And then for me, it's like, I'm not a demure voice type of bitch. And I wish I was soft spoken, bitch. Like, if I had one wish, bitch, I wish
I don't.
the tone of my voice was less raspy, bitch. I wish I was demure so I could go as hard and it wouldn't come across as how it comes across. But that is what it was. So I'm on hots about Alandria. They dropped me because I was on hots, bitch. I needed
Yeah,
to
that
be
might have
dropped.
been TikTok.
I was finna get
You were
real.
TikTok.
Y'all was gonna be real disappointed in me if they didn't drop me. So they did what they had to do. Shout out to them. They dropped me. She goes up. She's like, and I'm glad I unfollowed that bitch and made her unfollow me. Cause I knew that bitch. And I'm like, wait. I'm looking at the phone like, wait.
Because I thought she used to be on your live. That's what I'm
What did
saying.
he say fuck me
It's a
for?
level. And y'all, I'm not saying that it's nothing wrong with the wedding videos. It was whimsical. It was fun at the time. However, I'm talking about the fakeness of the hoe.
Girl, what she said fuck me for?
No, and
But you know what?
Spice had a
Nonetheless,
totally different frame of
now that
reference
it's
where
fuck me,
Spice had caught Amber speaking as though her accomplishments were undeserved and that somebody else
Thank
who we
you.
will not name, and I wish Spice was here to say that, but it was about her saying the other girl was more deserving and Alandria should
Deleted
align with
all
the
that.
other girl after her relationship was over and help that girl out. And that was a judge of Alandria's character as a woman because she wouldn't do that and align with the other black woman to absolve her and help her PR. And that black girl was more deserving. Hit it not, babe.
Yes. And the thing with Spice occurred on our Discord. It's on, when I say it's like a little bit of people. Like it ain't no big Discord. It's like a close knit. So we were shocked. Imagine my surprise to find out
yes,
she is an op.
same. But once you say fuck me, babe, okay, well now it's fuck me. And then that's when we got the whole childish ass back and forth. And again, that was beneath me, but I had a lot of smoke about the shit that was going on with the live in Alandria. And then she's coming up and she's poking. And I'm like, girl, why we even have beef? Like, I don't like, girl, like, what? So that was that. I'm calm now, y'all. I done took my shit on my live earlier. I'm demure. I done had a blunt. I got another one I'm finna smoke. Cause they was like, I smell the weed through the motherfucking thing. Like, duh, bitch. Cause I gotta get high to deal with y'all. Y'all crazy. Y'all fucking crazy.
Yeah. No,
And then y'all making it sound like I'm crazy
No,
because y'all
y'all,
you're not
she
lying.
had a
crazy.
battery in her back because she thought she was with EJ and that she could punk us all out on that live. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not playing with it. She thought she could go out. She never had that voice, that bass, that nothing with no one. She would have never tried that nowhere else. She did that in front of EJ, thinking EJ was gonna be rah with us, and that's what Kayla did to me too, thinking EJ was gonna turn up on us. And God bless his heart, the growth, the whatever. The young man had the sense not to let them girls play him. All right. And he stuck by the right ones last night. Thank God.
Yes.
Let me
I think
let me
sorry,
say
go ahead.
hold on real quick. To those of y'all asking for a clip notes in the comments, I'm sorry. This is like a 36-hour thing. There is no clip note version of this. But the live will be posted later where you can hear Desi lay out all the things. I apologize. It's too much to give. There's no shortened version of it. Wonderful Life Blog asked a question. Will you just clarify it for me, Wonderful Life Blog? Is that an op? It's an unpopular opinion and a bad take. Will you clarify for me one more time? I'm so sorry, guys. And then I want to, Lauren, go ahead, but I want Ash, I want you to jump in.
Okay. I was just going to say that some people have an allegiance to losers. And that's why they end up in the situations that they're in. Because some people are on their channel supporting people like Chris and Jeremiah, calling him Jer Bear. Chris, who has posted supportive videos about Tory Lanez. Like, why are we supporting these men? And so, because you have aligned yourself with losers, of course, you're not going to see the writing on the wall in these new friendships that you're making with people you've met online. And that's why I was like, we're being dishonest here, because I am very positive that Desi had shown her the screenshots of the information that she had about Nicolandria Core. And I'm showing you the screenshots. It's an open book test. You're failing an open book test, and you won't believe what I'm showing you. How do you fail an open book? You have the data. And I know that in their group chats, they discussed what was going on. And then everyone is like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're being disingenuous.
Yeah. Okay, I have clarification on the question, but I'm gonna say it out loud. I'm gonna let Miss Ash respond. I am gonna say this about the question, y'all. I'm gonna answer the question. I really don't want anybody else on the panel to touch the question, just because of the context of the question, and I don't want us to devolve into something I would not enjoy in my life with 782 people in here. I also want to just say for my mods real quick, I know that y'all probably already feel the tenor of the live, but I'm definitely controlling the live today. So folks, you can request, but I'm going to rotate as I would like. So just FYI. Ash, I want you to jump in and say whatever you might want to add, and then I'll answer that question on Wonderful Life blog.
Can I do a quick mod break really quickly?
Yes.
It is 20 after the hour. There are almost 800 of you in here. We are at 278K. You guys have been keeping it cute in the comments thus far. I have raised my eyebrow a couple of times. However, you all have reined it in, so I am proud of y'all. Brava. However, there are almost 800 people in here, so I need y'all to get it up to 325. Y'all have 10 minutes. Y'all have until 30 after the hour, or else you will be back in comments jail. Thank you.
Sade, they also want to know your lip combo after Miss Ash, and then I answer that question. Go ahead, Miss Ash.
Hi. I was just letting y'all talk because y'all actually know what's going on. I actually kind of fell off from the Nicolandria fandom a little bit because I noticed these things going on. And I kind of, dived into Love Island UK for a couple months. So Desi, I am so sorry. I did not know all this stuff was going on between you and Sharon. Because I'm mutuals with both of y'all. I'm going to talk to her because what the heck is this? I don't like that she treated you that way. I didn't know this was going on, or else I would have checked her. I'm sorry. But you put that whole entire story together very well. You knew everything from the start. I remember because I was there at the start with you. And I love you. I love you. I've been with you from before Love Island. So I'm so sorry that you were going through all this and I didn't know. I just wanted to give my love to you. That's all.
I appreciate you, Ash. I thank you. I think I don't hold nothing for people that didn't know, people that have taken breaks. I've said multiple times, Sade hears me say this, I've detached from the fandom, never detaching from the faves, never detaching from the people that I talk to. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're back here, that you know the information, that we can start over, have these fuzzy moments, and get back to our center. Very happy and grateful for you guys. I don't want anybody to feel bad.
No,
I
you're
know
so
the consequences.
I just feel bad that I
didn't.
d't know. You're good. I love you.
Yeah,
That's all.
but I just
good.
want people to know, that's, I think, I know that when you go through a lot, Tina's experienced stuff, Shada's experienced stuff, we all, for supporting Nicolandria or just being in this Love Island season that was extra toxic, you felt something. So I don't want to police the way other people have experienced it. I've taken time, clarity when it comes to Sharon. I know she's gone through a lot. I know she's been very unfairly attacked, and sometimes criticism can get caught up in the accountability, right? And criticism can feel like crucifixion. So I feel like there's a hand to be held there. Very much so. And I don't feel like Sharon necessarily hurt me. I felt more hurt by Sharon not putting the fandom first, right? And I think that there's still room for her to do that, right? And I think we've all come to this fandom on different terms, and I've appreciated a lot of the people that I've had. And I want to get back to that. I don't like being the person that's always airing stuff out. That's, you know what I mean? And you've been with me since before. You know, I always get caught up with this kind of stuff because you can't be a
You
weirdo around me.
do.
You can't be anti-Black. You can't say no weird stuff about Black women. And, you know,
And
I'm
when
always going
Desi
to beat
says
the
something, I
allegations.
listen. Okay?
Yeah, and
When
I
you
think
say
that's
something, I listen.
I think that that's something that a lot of people weren't realizing is that I do have a built-in credibility with the people that it matters most to me. And I was shocked when Miss Tina followed this page because I was like, I know, you know, my other page was like, there was other stuff going on, but like, this is very much Nicolandria centered. But I know you keep tabs and you've definitely kept us centered. And I'm glad a lot of people hopefully will be able to come back to the fandom on Buzz this summer, right? We're really clearing out.
Yes.
This is spring cleaning. And it hurts me that, you know, people like you were going through that type of stuff too. I was scared a lot of people were really going to step away from the fandom. And I know that it didn't mean that people were going to stop supporting Olandria, but like we really did have a really good thing going on. And it's been really hard to keep these spaces protected. And I don't like the paranoia or division. I want to clear a lot of this up. So I'm glad that, you know, people said that I cleared it out, right? And we can move on from here because I really do want that. I really do want to move on, you guys, because I felt like we were, and Lauren talked about this, people not taking the information, and we keep dredging this up and people are acting like they have amnesia. And I'm like, you know what? You can't keep beating me when I bring this stuff up and I tell you, here's the pattern. Because each time I brought stuff up, I learned new information. Lauren shared things with me. We compared notes, right? And we kept a lot of things covered, right? A lot was not shared, right? Because of the safety and the mindfulness of this fandom, and because we don't want to get too in the weeds, right? Because at the end of the day, certain people I align with, they center Olandria. So hopefully we can move on after today. So thank you everyone for being here.
Yeah.
Let me say this real quick. If y'all haven't realized, Blockerella is not playing with y'all. Even the slightest thing blocked. Okay. So we're going to keep our finger on the trigger. Okay. And then also to answer that question about whether or not I think that person is an op for requesting a reconciliation, I'm going to let you all fill in the blanks about, we're talking about Olandria. If they're an op because they requested a reconciliation, I would say, op or not, you're out of line because you don't fucking know her. You don't fucking know her. You don't know how she felt about that. You don't know what she experienced around that. Like, it's actually not y'all's fucking business to ask them to reconcile around a thing, right? Let people move how they want to move in their lives. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion, that you can't hope for a thing, that you can't discourse about a thing. I'm not saying that. I think that we're all literally doing that all the fucking time, right? But to say, I think you should do this, or you should do that, or you should make up, let's just move forward. I think that is an unfair request to ask of people when you have no idea whether accountability or apologies have been made. And so I think, you know, just stay in your fucking lane. Just be a fan. You can like something, you can want something, but let's just be fans. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Fans of fans.
Yeah, we're losing the plot.
Because that's where y'all be losing me.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we're losing the plot because people became the fans of the fans. And then when in actuality, a lot of these pages aren't even fan pages. They just post content about these people. And so it's like a level of entitlement that we've been seeing across this past year, even when it comes to the branding situations. I think that some of them were led astray by people that they trusted who were, you know, they got close to in the fandom. Again, like, you know, Mystic ended up dropping them off in Agos group chat, in Agos chat, and saying that demanding an invite, you know, stuff like that. It's just, we have to remember that as fans, we are basically representing Olandria, right? And Nick. When brands look at her and look at Nick's fandoms, they're like, so I'm gonna get involved in that because they're kind of nuts. They're nuts. I don't know if I want to be a part of that. So we have to clean house. Like, y'all, we gotta tighten up. and season 8 about to start. I didn't really want to watch it, but who gonna vote for the black women if I don't watch it? Okay, so we got to tighten up before season 8 start, y'all.
Someone said, just FYI, I'm going to announce it out loud because they put it in the comments and y'all are going to keep commenting it unless I say it. Alandria posted on X in her new home that she just purchased.
Where did she end up? Where y'all? Where she living?
Notification.
I don't know. She doesn't say where it is, dude.
She didn't say Houston or LA. No, I just mean like because people was wondering what state she was gonna live in.
I don't think we know, but I'm like,
You know what? Good for her. And that's why it didn't make any sense. Again, let's bring it back to the video from that we all saw yesterday, explaining the situation from Nicolandria Core. I would never buy my man a watch. Girl, you don't have the range.
So can I make a quick disclaimer? It has been announced. They made the announcement that the post has been done. Please do not spam it in the comments because I will mute you for that shit too. Do not spam it in the comments, please.
We are excited
It's
for our
also
girl.
on Instagram, y'all. It's also on Instagram. And she's not going to tell y'all what state she lives in. Y'all hunted down their Airbnb. Why the hell
I
would she
forgot they
tell you
did
what
that.
state she lives in?
I forgot they did that. Yikes.
Absolutely not.
Ah! Pentlandria. Yeah. We are so excited for her. And this is the whole point, right? This is the whole point. This is what we want. This is what we want to see. Let's get back to that. Like,
Period.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy for her. Like, literally, like, I feel very parasocial right now. But, like, remember, she left the villa and she was experiencing racism. She came out seeing her face on, like, that man body under George Floyd, like George Floyd's body, like, under that police officer. And now she's a homeowner.
I love that for her. That's so awesome.
This is crazy. In under a year, guys. Wait, you
Nah, this shit look big as fuck. Look, wait, did y'all see the foyer? Oh shit, she got money.
and our girl like to cook.
She got
Let's do the
money,
kitchen.
y'all.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me flip the camera. How I do that?
You click your face and then yeah, you see it?
Okay. All right, I figured it out.
Okay.
She got, look at that kitchen. Hold on. I'm in her business. Look at that kitchen.
Yeah, and she like to cook. I know she's gonna throw down.
Oh shit. She got, look, ain't no white refrigerators in sight. Ain't a white refrigerator
no,
in
that's
sight.
a big refrigerator.
You can
Yeah,
probably
I bet that
fridge.
shit make ice and water. Y'all know the type.
She say I better make ice and water.
Yeah, she blocking the ice part. I know her body is.
But this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, guys.
Go, girl.
When we was buying all that Vaseline body oil, when we was buying the Nyx,
Yes, that lip kit.
when people was buying cars, now girl got a home. Period.
That goddamn salad.
The salad. Damn the salad.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Expensive ass salad.
Y'all, real quick, they wanted to know my lip combo.
Want to know where to eat.
Yeah.
Y'all want to know her lip combo?
Everything from the dollar store. Period.
Hey, Spice.
Go to Beauty Supply
Spice. Did you? We were actually talking about you for a second.
Hey, Spice. Oh.
And then I got the NYX lava cake from my Nicolandria lip kit that I put around the liner. That's it. Nothing too crazy. You know, whatever. That's it. Okay, bye. No, but Tina, I'm actually gonna drop because I'm sure people's feeling to come up here. I said what I said. I really just wanted to come up here and tell Desi how proud I was to hear her speak, and I really hope that people start giving her the benefit of the doubt just because like she's never talked shit about Alandria. And if we can give people that have talked shit about Alandria in this Alandria fandom, like that's why I'm mentioning that, right? If we can give those people benefit of the doubt, or even those people that's associated with those people by proxy, benefit of the doubt, why y'all so mad that she be talking about the other islanders? Just fucking scroll, block her, mute her, or ignore it.
Very simple and in your face.
Or even another option, you're on your fucking phone, turn your camera on and make your own video supporting those islanders that you're mad that she's not supporting. That's also an option.
And I think I just wanted to be very clear that Desi, Spice, Sam, the people that y'all deem to talk the most, that y'all have the most problems with, they say their opinions on their page, in their spaces. They are not going under y'all comments. They talking about the Islanders. They are not going under the Islanders comments. They are not in the Islanders pages. They are not harassing the Islanders like how you guys are trying to portray this is. They are having conversations with their mutual friends. So stay out of their fucking spaces if you don't want to hear them talking the shit that they talk. Clearly, y'all don't care about that either, because I be up on my space having a good fucking time and y'all still be reporting my ass. So maybe we a little miserable. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But thank you, Miss Tina. Gigi, I love you, Dow. You always show love.
Listen, love you down. Before you go, Sade, can I tell you, don't ever change the way you speak, please. I love the way you show up in spaces, and even when you can reflect. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you show up in spaces, and even when you go off the rails, there is. Oh, I have this. I feel like it needs to be said that and you don't hear it enough, that there's an appreciation that I have for you. That even when you go off the rails, you always can bring it back and go, I shouldn't have said that shit. I was a little wild. I'm learning. God knows my mouth and I'm healing. And I appreciate the way you show up. So no, I don't want you a little more demure. I want you a lot more Sade.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate that. So I just want to let you know that.
You got my vein popping out. I gotta go, y'all. It's time for me to smoke.
With your little
be in the
sexy
chat
ass.
though.
Love you, girl.
Yes, love you guys.
Okay, so I know that people in the Spice, you said that you requested and I denied you. I did, because you requested while we were only letting Desi speak and only letting Desi up here. So I definitely denied you. And somebody else requested during that time and I denied them too. But that's because when the comments were up, it was only Desi space. I wasn't letting anybody up. Can we pray for Nicolandria? I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Nkechi. I encourage you to pray for her in your free time. I don't practice Christianity, so I'm not going to pray for her. I encourage you to do that in your space with whatever feels right for you and your practices.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let some more people up. I'm going to go in. If you're new here too, I should tell you that no, don't be sorry, babe. You just asked the question and no need to be sorry, I promise. I am going to always prioritize my subscribers, y'all. So I know that y'all are in the queue. I'm always going to prioritize the people that subscribe to me to come up. But anybody can request, okay? I just want you to know how I do the order for people coming up. Okay. All right. Hello, Miss Sam.
Hello, my favorite intern.
So my faves are on the panel. This is such a good day in my life. Oh my goodness. I can't say enough.
You're so funny.
Hilarious.
Desi, when you bless us with your presence, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 experience.
Desi,
Oh my gosh, thank you. Y'all don't gas me up. We're just out of Aries season. I'm still my sun sign right now. Oh my, don't gas me up. Love you guys.
I know that you all probably were listening into what we were talking about. I promise you, I'm ready to move on from the discourse. I already had made up in my mind that I was going to give you all today for us to talk about it, because I knew that it would not probably avoid my space, and I'm okay with that. But if you all, Bad and Star, if either one of you want to chat about that, I'm willing to let you have the floor. I promise you all, this is my one and only day having this discussion now.
You want to go first or me? I don't care what order.
Go first.
Okay, I really only had a quick thing to say, and I'm only gonna bring us back for like 5 seconds. I just wanted to say, when that girl came in here, I just was expecting more of an open energy when everyone tried to explain to her why what she was saying was crazy. From the way y'all talked about how she receives things yesterday, I wasn't expecting too much, but when she came in today, she seemed cool, but then it went left. So I'm glad, Tina, you had the space for Desi to come talk. And I missed a little bit of it, but I was so glad she got to speak because I don't know why they be coming for my girl like this. All you do is spread knowledge to us about every situation. If they listen to you instead of trying to argue, they would learn something. But that's all I'm going
ZL,
to say about that.
hold on. ZL, unmute them. Unmute them. They're fine. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, that was all I was going to say. I was just glad Desi got to speak her points because I wanted to hear them.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I think the timeline is important too, right? Like, I think it's okay to say I'm operating with bits and pieces of the information, and as you get more information, you are so funny, ZL. As you get more information, to be able to have a fuller picture and better context, guys. I think that actually is okay. Star, please go ahead and give me your thoughts too, my love.
Yes. First, I just, of course, want to say, thank you for always, giving the platform for us to just come and talk and just kind of go through the thought process and just helping, I think, like people navigate the space. Then secondly, this is for Desi. I'm happy that they didn't push you away or run you away because I followed your first platform as well. And I love both of your platforms. And when you kind of stopped posting so much and then went to Nicolandria Intelligence, I still followed you because I always just kind of loved how you laid your platform. And it's definitely unfortunate, that you had to, experience all those things. But I commend you for just kind of still pushing through and, putting out your truth and putting out, things, that we weren't privy to, and just being able to communicate everything that kind of transpired in a nutshell to, everyone else and stuff like that. So, I just want to give you your flowers and all of that, just coming to the space and just being open about your experiences and stuff like that. And then lastly, I think the question is like, where do we go from here, right? Like, because there's always, I feel like, going to be something like this that's occurring, right? So I feel like a lot of people jumped on the Nicolandrian train because of profit. Just, everyone kind of already laid that out. And so you have your people who's doing such things as kind of what transpired yesterday and things that's transpired before, where they, act like they are supporters. And I think like, I'm hoping that things can move forward because I think this was like the biggest outlier with the way that they represented themselves and it being such a big, I guess, fan page. All of this have always been an issue from the jump, and then now things are exposed. I'm wondering, it's like, is this something that is gonna like continuously happen because it continues to be infiltrated like by people, and so I understand the need to protect Orlandria. I will always say this. I do feel like she continues to get the most hate still to today. I feel like she's the only one that's kind of gotten from all the band groups, and she's one who have said nothing, right? So I feel like when people go to defend her, I'd be like, more power to you. And I don't care when they go extra low. Like, good for you. Please, take it to hell if you need to. And I hate when people try to silence those people, and then be like, oh, keep it demure. No, how about you go put some positive things on your page and leave them alone and let them do what they do, because there's going to be different groups and stuff like that. But I do think that sometimes it's like, where is this just a thing? Like, is it just something that we need to maybe like accept? Like, because it seems like something happens maybe every other month, every 3 months, you know? And I think it's maybe like, what is the end goal? I think everyone wants to see Olandria, especially, win and be successful and support her and the way we can support her and stuff like that. And, but we, people who are, I think like, I think like the front facing people, they're always attacked, right? Like, these people know when they go live, they know when they post something, they know when they do this, they know when they do that, and they attack them, consistently and stuff like that. But it's just like, I think, how do we move forward? Like, I think for me, that's my question, right? Like, it's like, I'm gonna continue to support, and I probably continue to listen to the things that's happening and stuff like that. But I do support like who I want to support and people who pick my interests and stuff like that. But you do also have those who like the discourse and stuff like that, but yeah, so I don't know. I think like that's just my question. If you have any feedback in that, if anybody
Are you asking me?
um just the panel, you, Tina, like, I think, is this maybe something that was the bigger issue, and now that it's, been put out there, is it better days to come? Like, what does that look like, like, so kind of what I'm thinking, I'm asking.
Can I speak? Is it okay if I speak?
Let you respond. I want to
had a
respond.
similar question too, but go ahead.
Okay, let me respond real quick. So Sar posted in the comments a while ago, and I can't pin comments because we're on a panel, but Sar posted and said, like, one of the greatest acts of love is accountability. And I would say that I would expect this to continue to happen, right? The reality is that, it's unfortunately it's not one band, one sound, right? Because it's too broad. The fan base is too big, right? It ain't 20 of y'all. It's like millions of y'all, right? That are fans of this woman. And so, and the couple, right? And when you put their fan bases together, it's too many people to assume that you're never going to have people that are infiltrators in the fan base. I think what has to happen is the practicing of, like people are saying in the comments, discernment, paying attention to your intuition, paying attention to patterns, right? If you follow me, then all summer we were talking about patterns of behavior, right? And if you would let yourselves be open to people that are doing discourse around that, you also would be able to pick up on the patterns with these people, right? And so just paying attention to the patterns so that you can then decide how you are going to react. Now, I will say some people are going to pop off. Some people are going to quietly ignore and move on, right? I think that it's okay to have a reaction based on what the situation is and to allow yourself to sort of decide in the moment. This is my personal, everybody's probably going to have a different thought around this. Decide in the moment how you want to respond, because sometimes I might pop, right, about whatever, right? And so I'm not going to say that that's like an invalid way to respond. I do think that you have to be, I do say that I don't like to see y'all infighting, so I do think that you do have to be mindful around how much attention and energy you give it, but I'm also not going to say just like, there's only one response to it, right? I think you just have to know that it is going to happen. Practice your pattern recognition, practice it in your everyday life too, right? And then you'll be able to spot things a little bit more quickly. Allow yourself to be open to new information, even if you think that person is your friend. Allow yourself to be open to new information, hear it, and then move accordingly, is what I would say about that. It's me. You wanted to say a thought, and then Nikki, I'm going to let you go, and then Vi.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, mostly with Desi and everything that's been happening, as someone who was an ex-admin of the Discord, I'm proud of Desi for speaking out and being able to share her part and share her story. I feel like in the beginning, a lot of us, especially, and I would say for the admins of the Discord, a lot of us admins did try to speak up and we were silenced. in the beginning. And a lot of people didn't believe us when we were saying that this is what we were dealing with in the Discord at the moment, and we were seen as people who just wanted to cause infighting inside of Nicolandria. But we were trying to warn people, like, this is what we're currently experiencing. This is what we experienced for the almost past 2-3 months every day, and we were trying to warn people of that. And so we didn't really get heard. And, you know, a lot of people were like the Nicolandria Core founders, and which is, they're allowed to, you know, and at that point for me, so now, I mean, I said, you're allowed to like him, but we were trying to let you guys know, like, they don't see Nicolandria as this fandom where we can all come and connect. It was more of a business thing. And no offense to like NATO and all of you guys are amazing people, but you guys were never seen as friends or anything like that. Everything was calculated. It was for a business move. It was to popularize on Nicolandria because, like, for example, like when we saw the hashtag for Nicolandria during the summer, it was over 1.7 billion views. And they saw that. They saw what people were like, how much pull you could get from Nicolandria. And that's why I was so against them, you know, advertising, not advertising, but like putting their faces in the front core of the Nicolandria page core. And I'm a huge advocator if you are a fandom page, people shouldn't know who you are. I feel like for me, you should stay anonymous because you are not the face of the fandom. It's Nick and Ola. And when they were speaking about, when they wanted to first introduce themselves, I was one of the people who were like, I don't think people should know who you guys are because you're not Nick and Ola. You're somebody else. You know, like, you're not the face. The face is Nick and Ola, and that's who we should be focusing on. And obviously, as you guys can see, they didn't listen to us. So we're in this situation and predicament now. But at the moment, I'm like, there's no reason why you guys should be putting your face into the face only to what? Capitalize on what Nicolandria can bring to the table. And that's what it was. And as an admin, we were working day in and out to keep that server up. And not once did they ever appreciate us in that way. And we had all these people coming in and out the server, and it never felt like people actually cared. Like, for example, like, they didn't care that we were doing this for them. They just wanted to make sure their face and their thing was known to Nicolandria, if that makes sense. Like, they just wanted to have this idea where I'm close, because I have proximity to Nick and Ola, that this is why we should continue to be the face. This is why this and that and the third. And that's why when we were trying to tell people, like, hey, like, these people are weird. I don't think y'all there's the people who own this fan page is not in the right headspace. I don't think y'all should continue supporting them. We got, people just thought we were crazy. I don't remember the amount of people on Threads told me that I was delusional, but I was like, this is coming from admins. Like, we're higher up in this hierarchy. So we're seeing so much from the disc. We are, seeing so many things, and we're interacting with the founders. So I don't know why people thought we were like making stuff up. I'm like, guys, this is actually happening. Like, that's why you see all these weird tweets and these things are happening with the founders, because this is what's actually happening in the Discord too at the same time. Like, it's a simultaneous thing. And when I left the Discord, I felt free. And I know that's such a weird thing to say, but like, when I left the Discord, I felt so free. I've never, like, it always felt like a power thing. Like, with the founders, like, if you have, whoever has the most power holds the most in the Discord. And that's what it felt like. Like, no matter what, like, it always felt like that. Like, because has Nick and Ola following them, they're all the way so high, and now we can't touch them. So it's like, it was bad. It was really bad. There was nights we were up until like 4 a.m. trying to fix the server. So it was like, it was just crazy. And just to hear, like, when the NATO people were, not everyone in NATO, but, you know, the certain people in NATO who were backing up the founders, I just was so broke. I was like, it hurt me, but I don't want to discredit their experience, because what they were experiencing is what they were experiencing with the founders is what we weren't experiencing, and I can understand that. And in that aspect, because they were getting a different founders, and we were getting a completely different side, which is why I understand at the moment why they did that, but it still hurt, but they weren't seeing what we were seeing. So I understand why they did what they did at that moment. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Nikki. Ask her question, and I also really quickly, and I know Gigi on my break. I'm gonna shout out my mutual because in January of this year, y'all came into not y'all. I'm speaking generally, okay? If it don't apply, let it fucking fly, all right? But y'all came into my live and y'all whacked Antoinette, you whacked Nikki, you whacked people that were like, hey, when Antoinette said you shouldn't actually be the face of Gigi, you shouldn't be the face of a fan page. Actually, some people are being a little bit loony. Some people are being a little bit weird. People are moving oddly. They're doing a little bit too fucking much. People whacked them and then went into lives and discoursed about them. The same thing that Desi experienced. And so I know that my mutuals don't even like hold pages like that where they host lives or whatever, but like I just have to say that like I am always going to do my best to remember the receipts and give credit where it's due. And so what I know somebody said in the comments, right, we didn't have all this context about them to It's Me when she was sharing, but I also want to encourage us that when people are saying it's weird, get curious. Get curious instead of just saying, nah, bitch, you lying. Get curious. Ask questions. Look for more information rather than just dismissing somebody. Yes, C Rose, inquire. Because the more data that you have, the better informed you are with the decisions that you make, right? And I said to y'all in my live back in January, I said, some of you are having an emotional, visceral reaction to what's being said. And I can honor that. I understand that. And I would encourage you to get curious about where that is coming from. Rather than just being dismissive of what you're hearing, get curious with yourself and then see, is there more data that I'm not considering that maybe I should? Okay. All right. From a place of love. From a place of love. Nikki, please say what you wanted to say. Gigi, oh wait, Gigi, do your mod break and whatever else you wanted. I'm sorry.
So congrats, guys. We're at 409K. There's still 600 of you in here. Y'all have been keeping it pretty cute in the comments. Some of y'all questionable weirdos have gone away, either by myself or one of the mods. So bravo to the mods. Y'all are working hard. I appreciate you all. Tap it up, please. We're going to have a live goal. I'm going to give you a break for about 4 minutes. Top of the hour, we're going to have another live goal. We're going to run this up to 450, please. Run it up to 450, but you got about 4 minutes break, and then it's going to be a 10-minute run for it. Okay, guys? And then I do have a question after Nikki goes. That's from Seventh Letter.
Okay, rest your thumbs, guys. Rest your thumbs. Okay, Nikki, go ahead and give me your thoughts.
Hi. Tina, that made me cry. I love you both so much. And it's really good to be seen and understood. I'm not sure where Desi went, but I did have a question for her. Maybe she's on a call. But I will say this. I have been very, very sad of lately by what I have witnessed on this internet. By Black women, what we're doing to each other. I'll come back.
Listen, y'all.
Love you, Nikki girl.
It be tender, y'all. It be tender. And we're brave over here, so we can do all of that. Gigi, ask the question from Seventh Letter.
So the question from Seventh Letter is to you. It's me as a former mod in the Discord. She wanted to know, did the founders ever let their mods in the Discord or their admins in the Discord know of their plans to use the platforms to elevate their music endeavors?
Yes and no. There was one admin they were very close to. I will not be naming her name for privacy reasons because I do not want her ring with this, but she's the person that would probably know that much part because they were closer to her in that aspect, if that makes sense, and stuff like that. We were all very close, but there was one admin that they were very, very close to. So she would know that information. But yes and no, we knew. Like, there was things, and I always used to thought that this was weird, where we had a corner where you could stream their music and stuff like that. And so I don't know. Like, I always used to think that was weird, but I never thought anything of it because I'm the type of person where, like, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So I don't want to be like, oh, you're being weird, this and a third fast. Like, I give people the benefit of the doubt. So I always thought it was weird. Or, for example, like, when, like, she shot, I think she shot or made a music video and she put it in the general chat for everyone to listen to. So anyways, that was like weird stuff, like, that I would peep, but I never said anything because I'm like, like, at that time as admin, I'm like, okay, I understand, like, they're, trying to put their name out there. I don't want to bash a black woman down. Like, get your bag, get your music, like this, that, and the third. So I never said anything, but I used to peep that it was weird. I'm like, why do we have to listen what's happening? I mean, you and the core, that's your own thing. Like, our job is to run this damn server. You know what I mean? And so that in that aspect, we did kind of know, but it wasn't to the extent where, like, we knew, like, they're gonna use this thing for their music only. Like, especially me as an admin, I did not know it to that extent. I was definitely being there was a point as an admin where I was definitely being excluded because I was pulling away, and they could tell that I was pulling away from a situation that happened. So I did not know as an extent as other people, but there was times where I'm like, they're using this fandom to boost and elevate themselves. So I always found that weird. Yeah, like someone in the comments say soft launching. Yeah, they were trying to slowly soft launch to us, and the issue in the Discord was a lot of the people in the Discord was becoming fans of the core. If that makes sense? Like, fan of the fan in that sense. And that was causing issues because when all this stuff came out, because the core founders didn't, like, I don't know how to put it into words, but if you disagreed, it sounded like it was a bad thing. So they wanted you at all times to always be on their side. So if anything ever felt like you were out of line, they automatically counted you as suspicious. So the minute you got pulled out, the minute you sounded weird, the minute you stepped out of line, you were automatically put on some weird list. And that's how it was. So the minute you weren't with their opinion, they didn't like you. Or it's not they didn't like you. You would slowly get excluded. You would slowly get pushed out. And it's a slow thing. They would do it with the mods. They would do it with the members. And we even had this issue where we had a member in the Discord. This is like very early on, who was leaking Ola and Nick's Greece flights. And we had to beg the founders to kick that person out. But it took like 2 weeks because the founders liked that member. It took like 2 weeks. And that member was also bullying one of the admins. So it was really ridiculous. It was insane. That's all I'm gonna say. That was I will never forget that. So
I feel like I on an episode of like Punked. Like I feel like I'm looking for the camera because what's going
More
on?
like Black Mirror.
Yeah,
Like I'm in a true crime documentary.
Because what's really going on?
Well, I
They
mean,
were
that's why I
leaking
named the
flights?
playlist Black Mirror Edit, y'all. Like, I ain't never played about this. And the thing is I knew it was a sign. Hit Dogs hollered. when Play started talking about sauce names and all them people clicked up and the way they were coordinated, the way they came, Sharon was walking me down in the DMs against my discernment, all of that. I said, why the fuck would you claim this shit? Why would you show your face under here unless you knew some weird stuff was going on in the DMs, that you did have this sycophantic behavior? Because why would you feel hit by that video? And then be cussing people out, calling them all types of B words. All of that stuff made me very disappointed in EJ, okay? I made videos about that. I was very transparent because people were baiting me. They were saying X, Y, and Z, trying to triangulate Play, EJ, and I. And I wasn't going to go for that. And so I did my due diligence, but that was a warning for me. I said, whoa, why would y'all be so worried about this? And this, now that we're getting this information, it was all right there. When I clocked Mystic, I was calling her Yolanda for a reason. I wanted her to be uncomfortable. I spoke to the financial crimes. That all of that entitlement. I said, this is a sign, right? It's not missed on me that plenty of people are actual content creators that love Nicolandria, that made it. I'm not thinking everybody, you know what I mean? But a lot of people rebranded. You know, so in my mind, it's like they'll be back next season. They'll support when they want to say things. To me, that's natural. EJ did that. Many people have done that. I respect that, right? But this weird, you've moved on and you can't detach. You still have this ownership. This is the shit we've been talking about. So yes, Lana and Sharon look crazy today. I want to move on from this tomorrow, but the last couple of days, now that we're getting all of this, because you guys knew what was going on behind closed doors. You knew. You're not going to play with us now. You knew all of this stuff.
It was
This
very
toxic
disingenuous.
behavior. And you gaslit everybody that questioned it, questioned the hierarchy as being jealous and coveting your clout. No.
Yep. And that's what it was in the Discord. It was definitely like that. Like, you're jealous that we have close proximity, and that because you
they
don't have
follow
it,
us.
we're gonna make you loyal.
Hold on.
And that's what it was.
You're trying to do a
I just want to say really quickly. Yeah, sorry. I'm about 5 minutes late on the mod break because the conversation was really good. So y'all got an extra 5 minutes. Y'all got until 15 after the hour. We are almost there, so I'm gonna push out a 475. I'm gonna work y'all. Sorry, y'all haven't been tapping. Had y'all been tapping, you started before I warned you. We're not even gonna do that. So I'm gonna push out a 475, and I'm
That's
only give y'all
nice.
7 minutes to do it. Y'all don't do it, and I'm cutting y'all off, and that's just gonna be how it is.
turn the
Y'all been
comments
saying
off,
I've been
y'all.
nice all day, so.
Y'all
Y'all been
get
saying
it.
I've been nice and I've been generous all day, so apparently I'm not living up to my name. So
You were
y'all get
generous.
the
I would have
tapping.
said 500.
The generous
right.
queen.
Y'all
She done
get the
got soft,
tapping.
girl.
Y'all
Hella
better get to
generous.
475. Now we're down to 6 minutes, so you get to 475.
He say talk and do it, y'all.
Get the tapping, or y'all gonna be in jail. Nikki's ready to go. Thank you guys for listening. Nikki is ready to go. I'm gonna go back on mute. It's Nikki, then Vi. Continue to keep it cute, or I will cut y'all all off. So
Can I go after Vi?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I am very much more calm. I had a good, little cry, and then I came back and saw Miss Cleo's butthole, blown out butthole, and said, okay, I'm back. So I just have to say that it has been hard to watch, to witness, to be a witness of Black women attacking Black women. And if I'm going to be honest, it got really messy to where I was being called weird for calling out certain behaviors. And I just got flat.
Somebody restricted you, Nikki. I have to drop you for 10 minutes. What the fuck?
She just started talking.
And she didn't even say anything, y'all. She didn't even say anything bad. This is the targeting that we're talking about. This is the targeting that we're talking about, y'all.
All right, yeah, they on some foolishness tonight. Okay. Go ahead, Vi. It's your turn.
I literally just said I'm after Nikki. If you know, you know.
So keep it cute, bye.
I'm trying. Okay, cool. Check this out. First question: is Spice still here? No.
He left.
He left, but I
Okay.
hope he comes back because I feel like he has the perspective of the anti-black H phobia that has been deeply oppressive to him, and he's maybe one of the only other people that I think, other than Samantha, that's gotten it as bad as I have, while defending and never speaking ill of Alandria.
Exactly. That's why I thought it would be great to have him come up, because honestly, I was gonna drop to, like, you know, because I think he needs to be heard, but you know, he'll do when he'll do it and everything. That's great. That's fine. Okay, so next, y'all just tried Nikki. I'm coming for you. That's all I'm gonna say. Number 3, with this situation and this whole ordeal, I'm gonna try to put it in a nutshell as best as possible. Don't choose sides, choose facts. And if you know the definition of a fact, which y'all should, I know some of y'all may not know cursive, but y'all should know definitions. If you know the definition of a fact, go with the fact no matter who it's coming from. If it's a fact and it can be proven a fact, roll with that. Yes, we are letting some people slide because we do have certain connections within this fandom, because that's what this fandom give. If it was not for this fandom, I would not be who I am right now as who I am labeled in my groups, which is in Tina's group and another group when it comes to Nicolandria. I do not play at all. And it has been proven. Look me up. I don't. However, just because we are like that within our groups, within this fandom, does not mean we ignore what is said and what's done by people, because we are still people and people make mistakes. And then there are people that have agendas. I don't care how much you like that person. If that person has an agenda, they have an agenda, which is why you like them in the first place, because that's what they were doing to get you to like them. Let's have common sense, people. Please. You don't gotta know cursive or how to write cursive to maintain common sense. Now, let me calm down. I'm trying, Tina. I'm trying. Okay, cool. With that being said, love who you love, do what you do. But at the end of the day, if we are going to support somebody, because this is something that needs to happen because it hasn't happened. My grandmother came from the Jim Crow era. My daddy was in the Black Panther Party movement. I know this is important. And this is going to be a long time, hopefully not a long time, that we see certain things. So I kind of understand from that perspective in me why this is important when it comes down to Ola and those ladies that was on season 7. It wasn't even just Ola. It was black women, period. Dark-skinned black women, period. They are in spaces that they couldn't even go through the front door in the 1950s. Let's be clear. Get into your history. This is why why it's important to some of us, especially me, especially if we know they're good people and all they have shown is that they're trying to open doors for the next person after them. This is what our ancestors put up with, what they put up with for. So this can continue. And I understand why Nikki is upset, because this was the whole point, and it's some of our own that are messing it up. What is wrong with y'all? We can have fun with this. We can be cute with this. This is what we've been trying to do the whole time, but it's always got to be somebody to mess it up. So guess what? Those somebodies who's going to be messed it up is getting the boot. Getting the boot. I don't care what shade you are. I don't care if you are or not or half or whatever. It does not matter. If you don't fit the narrative, then you don't fit. Come back when you get some sense. It is okay. Pick facts, not sides. And I'm gonna find y'all whoever did that to Nikki, and that's it.
Period. Okay.
I think Bad wanted to say something. Yeah. Bad, you still want to talk?
No, I'm gonna end it right here because I'm upset.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Bad.
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to respond to the thing about the admins knowing what was going on. This is the problem with people being fans of fans. Because then people's heads blow up like those Airhead commercials. And they be flying away into the sky acting like they don't know what is the difference between the earth and the clouds. I need them to get real fast, because you capitalizing off of somebody else's popularity is honestly insane and something I wouldn't do. I don't like, I just, for some reason, it bothers my spirit. I don't like it. I think it's really strange to use. Yeah, sorry.
I love when somebody starts.
And just so you know, real quick, Bad is of age. Okay, Bad
I am.
is of
Please don't
age.
report me.
I know
Good
she sound
Lord.
young, but she is of
Yeah, she does
age.
have a
That
young
is
voice. She has a young
wrong.
voice. Not too much on my
That is wrong.
sis.
Y'all
Jesus.
act like y'all ain't never heard Miss Chalet. Like y'all be confusing
She
me in
just
the
got a little
comments.
voice. She
Ridiculous.
just have a
You
little
know
voice.
them fools don't know nothing about no Michelet. Girl, Tina, they don't know
They don't.
cursive. Why would they know Michelet? Girl, stop.
Something in
Okay,
the
I'm
heart.
sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, and y'all are on a tap break. Nikki did give y'all a tap. I mean, Gigi gave y'all a tap break. Okay, go ahead, Bad. Finish love.
Yeah, I just think it's really strange. And I think that it's insane that you invite people into your space and then you take advantage of them and try to force loyalty upon them. Like, this people didn't sign up to be your fan, to listen to your terrible music, and to get you some money. They came to support people they liked on a reality show. So I'm gonna need you to cut it out. It's giving Amaya in that rap career. Nobody wants to hear it. Step away from the mic, step away from the keyboard. Please. Go home. And I see all y'all 568 of y'all. If y'all put me on that bird app, I don't care because I'm not over there. And that's it.
Oh my.
Fireman.
Oh, I second that Amaya career statement though. Shade no shade. When I heard that song, I said, Peacock played. And the audacity to keep playing it after the fact, I was hella pissed. I said, when Amaya said it's supposed to be the song of the summer, I said, girl, go ahead and tell the producer to give you your money back. Because he played too. Y'all both played in the studio.
And if you want to taste this, go ahead and sip it up. Girl, the bare minimum is rhyming. The bare minimum is rhyming. Anyway.
Okay.
Lauren, you wanted to say something before Spice gave their thoughts.
Yeah, before Spice gets the floor, and because we really want to hear from him. I think that a big thing with the fandom, and a reason that we're having this discourse now is because a lot of people were using this platform as a fan, as a stepping stone, and not because they were an actual fan. I feel like we were so happy in the summer, especially the people who were like our OG Nicolandrians, when we were just on a crack ship of our own, wearing our tinfoil hat, and it wasn't real. It wasn't real life. Like, we were so happy. We were so free. It was something so freeing about not giving a damn whether people believed in Nicolandria or not. They were like, oh, I need to be convinced. I was like, well, good thing I'm not selling anything to you. It's not for sale. I'm actually on a crack ship. I'm the captain. I actually don't care. So these people coming into these spaces and they're being dishonest and disingenuous. And I remember, Spice having talks with certain people who we found out to be disingenuous, and it went left, and it definitely some H things were thrown around. So we don't tolerate that at all, because this space is for everyone.
If you don't know, I don't play that shit in my space. I also I'm sorry, I'm gonna circle back to my friends one more time, that January live, because Lauren is hitting the nail on the head, and it's me. Thank you for naming about what was happening in the Discord, right? And somebody said in the comments, right? I'm always trying to give credit where it's due, right? This request for blind loyalty. This request to just follow me no matter what. This is the only way that you can be a fan. Any hint of discontent means that you are not this, right? Whether we know that they didn't like that girl, right? But what they were doing was testing out your ability to not think for yourself. What they were doing was trying on how susceptible you are to their influence. And I told y'all this in January, I said, be mindful of them ones that tell you it's black or white. You can only be one way to be a fan of her, because what they are trying to see is yours. How easily influenced are you? How easily influenced are you not to just do what I say only, but also how easily influenced are you to shut people out when I say you should?
And also,
y'all,
sorry.
no, and Nikki told y'all it's dancing and it's acting like how fascists act, and y'all lost your fucking minds.
I see how people are susceptible to joining a cult and not knowing. It's too easy for people to become followers. They're like, oh yeah, we're doing this. We're all gonna do this. And next thing you know, you're in a cult and you have 17 sister wives and you don't know how. Because y'all don't ask questions.
And that was the issue. Like, they don't
Sorry,
want to
I
ask
gotta say
questions.
something. I gotta say something to that, because when I said it was moving from community to cult, y'all sat up there and tried to say some shit, and y'all were all, Gigi, you're overthinking it. Oh, you're doing too much. And I said that shit, and look at where we are now. Look at where we are now. We tried to warn y'all, and look at where we are now. And I implored all of you, because I remember when this shit happened, and I implored all of you to watch Netflix, because they have a whole documentary on it called How to Start a Cult. The evidence is there. And
You
I
just have to
said
be
it.
that type of person.
And
You have to have that
this
type
is
of big personality, and they get people to follow them. And again, these are not everybody is built to be an influencer. Sometimes it's okay just being a fan page. It is okay for you to, because you're not influencing. None of these people have influenced me to do or buy or say anything. So I'm just confused as to why we are becoming fans of fans.
And that's
And
just
it was
the issue.
disingenuous when Big Mama Lona, especially when she was like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and she come using her GRE words in that live last night, when she come using her big thesaurus words. And I'm like, weren't you a mod? Weren't you a mod for the core group? Weren't you a mod in there? Like, why are you acting like, oh, I don't know, I just so flustered, I don't know what's going on. Go ahead, Spice.
Tata, hold on, Tata. It was my live, I think, when I like returned to this platform, and then I disappeared again for a long time. It actually might have been February. All I know is I made a video afterward, and I was like, y'all got on my fucking nerves, so I had to get off. I was like, because I was gonna talk to y'all how I talk to people when they get on my nerves, and I don't want to talk to y'all like that because I like y'all, and I'm just upset right now. So I'm gonna go regulate, and then I stayed off for a minute, but it was that live where it was like it was a fucking shit show in my comments because people were upset that we were clocking it. So here's the thing, right? Another invitation. You're not going to like everything that you hear from me, from Gigi, from Lauren, from anybody, honestly, that ever comes on my panel. You're not going to like everything you hear, because everybody that comes on my panel has a level of nuance and intellect that is going to push up against things, right? That makes you uncomfortable. Another invitation: sit with that discomfort. Don't put that on us. Sit with that discomfort, get curious about where it's coming from, and then see if you can objectively look at the data. There's another pack. Okay? All right, Spice. Welcome to my panel. I feel like it might be only the first or second time you've been here. Please give me your thoughts, my love.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me. Where do I start? I when I first came into this fandom, this cult, to be honest, because I already knew this was going to be a cult because I'm a part of two. One specifically, I am a barb. I would like to let everybody on the panel and in the comments know I am a barb. However, I am a sane, well-thinking barb. Like, I'm not one of them crazy ones. So the way we are now as Nicolandrians, I saw this back in August. And I knew that we had to do this. Now, when it comes to the fans, the homophobia of it all started the moment I was met Olandria the first time by accident at Nick's marathon, because that was a moment where I even think to this day I still am the only one from that moment that has a picture with her. Like, nobody has anything other than the fact that she was there. So from that moment was when the hate started coming in, and of course Shellbox and her fans started getting a little reckless and stuff like that. So I went from basically posting happy videos about Olandria, her accomplishments, asking for Mattel to make us a Barbie, this, that, and the third, to really getting in the fields and defending Ola, because people were coming talking about her look, saying she don't deserve this, that, and the third. And it's like, you're not going to play with that girl in my face, because I look at Olandria as my younger sister. So I have 9 sisters, so she is just added to that. So I look at her as my younger sister. So I see her and treat her differently. I go to war for my sisters. So I'm doing that for Olandria. And then it quickly turned into stay out of women's business. You need to stay out of women's business. You're gay. This has nothing to do with you. You're a man. The stuff that you're saying is very misogynistic. Mind you, all I'm doing is holding her people across the board. The fruit lady, Shellbox, the Rolex scammer, the half breed, everybody. I am just simply holding them accountable. Accountability seems to be something that is what people are allergic to, especially on season 7. And I hate to say it, from the females. The women weren't accountable, and they weren't holding their peers, their other women, accountable. And the moment I, a male, hold you accountable, you have a problem with it. So much so that you're linking up with other fan bases and you're sending my nudes around. Then not only are you sending those around, you're being very specific in those, because you have now deemed me a raccoon. So you specifically go and find where I am interacting with another white male to push your narrative. Mind you, you're sending this to regular people on this app. Then you're using
People that could be
Google.
minors, y'all.
Then no, they have done that, because they took it to Facebook and Instagram by finding people
We
that
found
are
out in a
associated to
live,
the-
people in the live were being sent the nudes in the live, and they were sending it to everybody on the panel, but everybody in the live were talking about how, and that's how we learned. While we were on the live, they started doing this to Spice on live, and people were saying, I'm getting sent Spice's nude. Multiple people were violated in this way.
Then of course I get over into Facebook, and my family members are, sending me like, yo, thankfully I'm very honest with my family, open about what I do. But they're like, yo, somebody is sending me this, trying to show and expose all this type of stuff, going all the way down to my cousin who is under the age of 13. Yes. So now you're clipping me, you're taking me to all these different apps and everything like that, creating this narrative. There's a narrative that I want Nick. Like, I'm doing all of this. Like, I'm only trying to get close to Olandria because I want Nick. It's one of those things like, I became the face of it, because after the whole meet and greet at McDonald's, Olandria literally, because we met at the marathon. When I saw her, I was on live. She literally said, hey, my guy, waving, whatever. They literally took that little clip and basically was like, see, y'all, they are in cahoots. She agrees with everything that he says. She's the one telling him to speak about the other islanders like this. Like, we need to get him away. They had me in the same group chat that they were trying to unalive Nick with a hitman. They had Desi and I in the same chat. I seen my name at least 6 different times.
They said they wanted to go back in time and bring back segregation and overturn Loving v. Virginia to get rid of me and Nicolandria.
And LYNCH me, because I am a lover.
We have the receipts of all of this. That's why we're triggered when people come and try to use this type of stuff to evade accountability in the fandom, because people don't listen to Spice and I when we say, Somebody touched my door. 18 pizzas to my door. Spice is talking about this violation. People from CHC mods, y'all will never punk us
I'm
out of
still
how
getting
CHC
violated.
mods have been punking me and Spice for months with the ops and the snarkers. Let's actually say that up at the top, Spice.
Yes.
CHC mods have been clicking up. People, group chat warriors have been coming at us from within this fandom. Let's air it out today.
And also the CHC is very funny because when I was at Nick's DJ set and everything like that, I was front and center and I had gave everybody basically free, whatever. So at the end of them, a couple of them, they were real thirsty running after, mind you, it was cold. So we all had jackets and shit like that. We had to pick up and stuff like that. It was like 6 of them that literally the moment Nick ran off the stage, they hightailed it outside. No jacket, nothing like that. Not realizing Nick took a whole different exit to leave and everything like that. So while I'm sitting there talking to half of them and everything like that, because they had let me know they part of CHC, they knew who I was, they liked my videos, this, that, and the third. So I was like, oh, you guys came out here to support Nick. That's great and everything like that. They quickly was like, no, we can't. They didn't say no, but they was like, we came out here to support Olandria's DJ boyfriend. Period. Right? So I added Nick to it. And it was like, yeah, we came here to support Olandria's DJ boyfriend, Nick. So I was like, you just can't say that you came here to support Nick. And they reiterated again, we came here to support Olandria's DJ boyfriend, Nick. So I gave them the Nene head tilt, kind of like, what? And it was like, oh, no. We're not a X, Y, and Z. And I just kind of did my head tilt again. And I was just like, okay. So then as we go outside and everything like that, I'm looking for 2 specific ones. And they were like, oh, they ran outside. I was like, it's cold outside. Like, they wanted to get a picture with Nick and try and get with Nick. And I was like, but y'all, okay. I just went outside and did everything. Like when we was outside, they outside literally scoping for Nick and everything like that. Mind you, they literally just told me 2 minutes ago something completely different. And for me, what I've learned is that I already knew the second CHC was going to be a problem because, again, the terminology of the origin is wrong. Olandria said, come on, cream. So if you were going to, and I also noticed that, baby, y'all aren't for Nick the way that y'all claim to be for Nick. Because both Nick and Ola are busy. And for me, as a fan, I'm a fan of Nick and Olandria. You can't spell Nicholas without Ola. And it's just one of those things where I'm for both of them. So I noticed that in the new CHC, they were posting a lot of Olandria stuff, but they were only posting Nick when it came to stuff with Olandria. And then I would say something about this, like, yo, like, Nick got this going on, why aren't you guys posting about this? Instant delete. I will post something about Nick, just having fun with his boys and stuff like that. Instant delete. Hell, even when I had let the mods know, like, yo, your people that's in this CHC are sending my shit around. Delete. No conversation, no bringing it up, no doing anything. And it's just like, wow, you're literally allowing. And somebody had messaged me and they was like, you're a man, you can handle this on your own, this, that, and the third. Like, you are in women's business. This is what you get for being in women's business. It's like, I got 9 sisters, all my cousins are females. Baby, I was born into women's business. I didn't have a choice.
I mean, I'm actually gonna push back in the comments. Y'all are parroting the propaganda because that girl made an oversight. She made erasure. Then she came up with the PR answer after. Nobody says cock. Nobody says that. They say CHC. So they would say COC. They gashed y'all's head up with that excuse to excuse
just a little bit.
the erasure.
Just a little bit on that. I'm gonna push back just a little bit on that.
I know you have
because
your opinion.
It was one of the first things,
right? I'm just saying. We can't change it. It was come here, cream. It was to me. I left that where it was, right? So when it re-envisioned, I felt the same way as Spice, but I knew what it was, right? The branding, where we're at. We figured it out. I've always had the same opinion. Y'all have. we get what it was. It wasn't intentional. That was a decision that was made after the fact. She messed up, and she should have owned that from the jump. That's always been my problem.
Hold on. I understand what you're saying, Desi, and I hear you. But what I'm going to say is from a publication standpoint, I've said this from the beginning. I've had friends in the industry. We've had this. Hold on. Give me two, Desi, give me 2 seconds. I get you. I hold you. I see you. Give me 2 seconds. What I'm saying is, and I get and I understand what Spice is saying, because this is a conversation we've had before. It's a blessing that it was a mess up. Just like Coachella, we found out was a typo, right? So it was a typo. It's fine. But there are people who've had these conversations, who've said it, and who've said from a marketing standpoint, it just wouldn't have worked anyway. So it's a blessing in disguise.
Which is fine. My issue has always been, please admit that you misheard it. Don't erase it. Own it, understand, and be okay with people talking about the erasure, and us all accepting that it is what it is and it is better PR, right? I'm not trying to be silenced when I'm talking about Black Southern dialect, what was actually said. So when I talk about it and I say I understand the PR, when people were in droves coming to me to silence me and say all of that, I'm like, I appreciate that. But I'm talking about how these things happen, or how certain things have to be washed for corporatism. And I get a gaggle of CHC coming to bully me into shutting up and parroting what they want me to say. Yeah, I'm going to resist the cult light. So Gigi, I get it. I level with y'all. I was cool with y'all. Spice and I were too. But the same people that were allowing a dictatorship with CHC to fester, that were placating a dictator, I'm not dragging shit, bro. No, I've had my opinion, but I'm saying that was indicative of the problem to go forward. They didn't listen to Olandria. They messed up, and they were more worried about the brand. That was the sign for me. That was the issue. But these are the same people from the original one that did what they did and hid Danny. And then now they have still continued this toxic behavior that has targeted both Spice and I and Sam. That's where we're at here now.
I agree with
so fuck the name.
Says. I understand where Desi's coming from. I genuinely do. It makes sense. But also, like, imagine, like, publications saying, like, calling us cockers or something like that.
I mean, I don't know if Creamers is any better. Yeah,
that's true. But
that's the whole thing.
I understand.
Like, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, we're in 2026. People are going to find a way to make something out of nothing and turn it what it is. The whole thing about it in a nutshell was this group, this community of CHC was not created with authenticity behind it for Nick and Olandria. It was a way to get a set of Black women under Olandria's eyes and in her vision, so that way they could have close proximity to her. And the moment that she showed proximity to other people, show interest in other fan bases outside of CHC, Nicolandria Core, all of these other ones that are really, really big, their egos started getting into the way. When other people started posting pictures with them, they felt some type of way. When they started getting gifts, like, it was one of those things where the shift where they were no longer the fan favorite. Everybody, for some reason, nowadays got to actually have that number one spot of being a fan, and they can only be the number one fan. Back in the day, baby, we were all number one fans of whatever artist, and it wasn't a competition. No, bitch, I'm number one. No, I'm number one. No, I'm number. Bitch, we all the number one fan. Here to go. Let's have some fun. But now what has happened is that, you know, they got close proximity. Olandria and Nick, you know, did some things, you know, did a little razzle dazzle for them. They was in a little haze, felt like they were too big for their britches, and felt some type of way. Now that, you know, people are getting proximity to them, they're not acting a certain way.
Spice, just a second. I'm going to pause you for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Because
no one made an accusation. I have receipts for the accusations I've made about CHC mods targeting us. We have the receipts.
I'm just going to pause for 2 seconds because, Nisi, please. I see that the weirdos have made their way to my comments, so I just want to be super clear.
I'm sorry.
No, Spice, don't be sorry.
They follow me. That's what I'm saying.
If you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, please shut up in the comments. Please. Because y'all are coming in here. We are now 2.5 hours into this conversation. You don't know what we're talking about. I implore you to just sit back for a second and actually listen before you start responding, okay? The conversation that is happening right now is moved from, it started with, it's me talking to us about what was happening in the Discord with the Nicolandria Core. We then went to the danger of what happens when we platform people that want to be the face of fan pages rather than just uplifting the people that they are fans of, which then brought us to the things that happened in CHC. Y'all hear him talking about a name, you hear Desi talking about a name, and you have lost the plot. If you do not read books and you cannot stay along with us for the plot, then just leave the live. Otherwise, give yourself an opportunity to just sit back, be quiet, and hear what might be being said first before you start responding.
Yeah, y'all forming opinions with half the story. Like the whole point is Spice is giving us his side of what has gone on. Desi is giving us her side of what has gone on. So why are we stuck on the semantics of it all? Let's relax. Let's listen. Let's take a load off, okay?
Exactly, because that's not giving Spice the chance to speak out and tell his story if y'all are always going to shut him down. He deserves to tell his story. Point blank, period.
I'm not. So 2 more seconds. I'm not going to have someone from CHC give their opinion because that's not what we're talking about. This again, that's the plot is lost. We're not talking about that, right? See, y'all are doing what y'all did in my January live. Y'all are doing what y'all did. I think we should maybe, Emirates. You might be right. Y'all are doing what y'all did in the January live. I need y'all to just chill for a second. Let yourself listen long enough to know what's happening. And if you don't like what Spice is saying, that is fine. This is about data sharing on Spice's part. This is about Spice data sharing on his experience. If you don't like the data, you are allowed to disengage. You are allowed to say that data doesn't change my mind. Absolutely. But y'all are getting stuck in the weeds and that's not what we're talking about. So we're just going to put you on mute and you can listen or you can leave. Okay, Spice, you have the floor again, my love.
Thank you. I'm just a person that wants to hold everybody accountable across the board. Accountability is very, very big for me. I was raised and brought up, you got to be accountable for the things that you do. My dad has always drilled in my head and my sister's head, there's a price tag for every decision that you make, and you need to be able to pay up when it's time to pay up for said decision. And I do not like how Islanders, specifically Michelle, I'm just going to say her name like that, move. Because for you to be a dark-skinned woman, sharing an experience with another dark-skinned woman, and you both are doing the same thing, but you are centering it around I, me, where your counterpart over here is basically talking about how you both had a shared experience of this, that, and the third, and you're not coming out and you're not speaking about it. You're not saying anything about it. You're letting your air quote soul sister out here to fend for herself, all while fending, and you expect her to fend for you. And when she doesn't, she did in the beginning, but when she slowly stopped doing it, you had a problem with it. You and the little man that you was currently with at that time. It was one of those things like, where are you going to be like, hey, tell people you were wrong for this. This is what happened. This is what is going. I bring it to your fans. Your fans are sitting there trying to make excuses for you as to why you don't do what it is that you're supposed to do. And the fan base itself coming around to Mr. Jeremiah, we just see how he lied and being caught. Like my last video I did on him is still doing numbers and everything like that. He clearly done blocked everybody except for me, because he know that if he blocked me, it's truth and validity to what he said using his own words. But I had to cut certain fan base members that I saw as friends or mutuals or associates, because again, it comes to that accountability. You can like who you want and everything like that. Hold them accountable for their actions and decisions and stuff like that. Like I'm a barb to the go. I don't support what Nikki is doing and everything like that, but I also understand, hey, I'm gonna still stand beside her. I don't support the decisions she make. I vocally say that. Whereas the other fan bases will sit there and just ride with the shit. And I can't get behind that because there's no accountability. You need to this is all on camera. We're not making this stuff up. We're not putting it on, like Tommy said on Love and Hip Hop, it's on camera. You gave the camera what it is. You can blame producers, whatever the case may be, but you did and you said what you said. It's time to be accountable for those decisions. You coming out now this late in the game, making little slight remarks and stuff like that, it's not cool. The fan bases are just toxic to a point where it's exhausting. It's only been 10 fucking months. 10 months. And every day I get on this app, somebody calling me out my name, posting some shit about me, saying I'm this, saying I'm that, telling they're going to pull up on me. I done got several threats of, talking about they want to come up to New York and they'll find me, this, that, and the third. It's like, baby, I'm from Florida, so be careful. Jacksonville, to be specific. So y'all need, and I say that because y'all playing with Nick, that Duval crash out is coming. That Duval crash out is coming. Leave that man alone. They don't like these people because they simply exist. The black women who are nasty towards Olandria, I really do not understand it, and I don't get it, because why are you upset with a dark-skinned woman being loved out loud when historically on TV and movies, they are always seen as the sidekick, the lesser than. And here we are living, breathing in real time, seeing an ethereal being being loved out loud, and you have a problem with that because of who she chooses to love. Everybody want to sit there and say they want Olandria with a black man. Before she came on Love Island, she was single for 5 years. That was 5 years for any man, specifically a black man, to come and snatch her up. But black men have an ego where they can't stand behind a strong black woman. I don't know where the disconnect came, because that happened, but it is what it is. Why are we upset that this beautiful queen is being loved by a man who happens to be white? Secondly, if we're sitting there talking about it, we're all following this. Baby, Nick's mom, Olandria's mom, were in a whole group chat texting each other while their children were in two completely different relationships. Two completely different ones. The thing about it is they don't like that our manifestation came true. Everything that we said came true. They don't like that we show up and we show out. They start with us. We have never started with them. I highly doubt there are any really Nicolandrians that core, real Nicolandrians that are for Nick and Ola going into these other people's spaces, causing discourse and causing disrupt and everything like that. They're not being disrespectful, distasteful, or anything like that. To do the things that have been done to myself, Desi, and Sam is deplorable. To fit a narrative. You want to
Can
go
I
back
ask you a
in time?
question, Spice?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I think because
No,
Desi
I'm.
answered the question earlier, so I just want to ask you, how do you see a way for this to move forward for you? Like, what would be your ideal for this to move forward
In all
as a
honesty,
fandom?
what I'm hoping is that when season 8 airs, they find something to do with their time. The fake fans will find a new tree to latch on. The ones who have nothing to do, they will have something to latch on. I know that it's not going to stop, and we're not going to full hard stop, not dealing with any hate or anything like that. What I'm hoping is that when season 8 airs, we have the room to breathe and bring it back to where we originated, which was supporting Nick and Ola and their journeys together and separately in their careers. Like, where people I feel got lost is the fact that these two people came off a reality TV show, specifically a love show, a game show type of thing, and they have this big old motion. Like, they're bigger than a program, they're bigger than a network. Wherever they go, they're trending. No matter, especially Olandria. Olandria is never not trending less than the top 3, and people just need something to do with their time. And right now, because they can't fathom this happening for somebody, is why we have such visceral. They can't fathom, especially with a dark-skinned Black woman. It's unheard of for a dark-skinned Black woman to have this much motion, to trend at every event that she goes to have a fandom that stands behind her the way that they do. Like, it's unheard of. And when people are uncomfortable with something, they gotta tussle and ruffle feathers of other people to hopefully bring them down to their level. When you're so high that nobody can reach you, they will do anything that they can to chop you down. And we experienced that through the Met weekend with Nick and Olandria. Like, people do not understand that was coordinated. That was very coordinated. That was a humiliation ritual for Nick, and that was something to try and humiliate Olandria too. But the fan base, the core fan base, knew how to turn that shit around because, baby, she wasn't there and she was still trending. Vulture caught their shit really quickly because how dare you have Nick in a suit and strip him down to his underwear, and then in the same article sit there and talk about the fruit lady has an impressive rap career and she can't even formulate 2 sentences.
She can't rap.
She can't rap at all. At all. She made Cardi, like, baby, take Nicki and Megan out of this completely. Amaya makes Cardi seem like she is the best rapper alive.
I don't know, y'all. I think she did Dr. Seuss rather proud. I don't know, y'all.
No, Dr. Seuss would
And if
be
you
really
want to
upset.
Dr. Seuss rolled over in his
Dr.
grave just
Seuss would
now.
You need to
snatch his
keep it
books
up.
from her really quickly. Like, girl, don't
One
even
fish,
speak my
2
damn
fish.
words.
Come and take a sip, fish.
Dr.
And
Seuss
then
I don't know.
is
I
rolled
don't
over in
know.
his grave right now.
it was the producer talking about, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that. Like, why are you lying? You know what he doing? He was
Because
like,
he
I'm
cashed
rich.
his check.
I was just about to
Hold
say
on. Wait a
that.
minute. Wait a
got
minute.
his pay.
He cashed
got
his
paid.
check because
got
if she
paid.
gave me money for studio time, boo,
That's
you
what I'm saying.
did that.
Yeah.
You did. You
Yeah.
go, Coco.
I answered my
You
own question.
go, Coco.
I
You
answered my
did
own
that.
question because I thought about that. I was like, yeah, if I'm in the studio and you done paid me, yeah, girl,
Precisely.
I'm a big you up. Yeah, let's run that back one more time. Let's extend this time so I can sit there and bring them more out your pockets. But yeah,
Mike's, you
no.
also woke up us knowing, at least, like, our group, about Amber.
Yeah, oh yes. And the funny thing about it was that right there hurt me to really bring that to y'all because when it happened, I was in total shock. Like, you talk about gobsmacked, like I felt like I flabbergasted. It was one of those things where, oh my god! And the thing about it was, I kind of figured we was going to slowly we were agree to disagree because me being a Barb and her feeling the way that she felt, she was making little slight remarks like, how your girl doing? You standing behind your girl, and I always be like, yeah, I'm just in the phase of I'm trusting the process. Like, I'm just trusting the process. I can't sit here and you already have a mind made up about her, so it's not necessary for me to waste my breath in speaking to you. Where she definitely got me was when she was the main one harping about, oh, Olandria needed to get away from Shellbox and this, that, and the third. And then she turned around and said, I want Shalandria to be a thing again. And I was like, oh, girl, you cannot be trusted. You cannot be trusted at all. But I didn't get rid of her just then. I just stayed around a little bit because I wanted to make sure. Baby, we started having conversation about Ola and Nick, because Ola had a red outfit, not the Nashville one, but where literally you could peel her out of that dress from the skirt or the top. It was real easy. And she was just fantasizing about Nick way too hard. You know, I want to see what kind of draws Nick got on. I want to see Nick in a Speedo. I wanted like all of this stuff like that. And then the Shalandria of it all.
Her and Barbie, they like the comments were very strict. I'm like, why are we? Why?
Check
And
her
she has a video still on her
computer.
page. She has a video still on her page talking about, oh, I know they're gonna get down. Relax.
Yes, like she wanted to be a fly on the wall for them. And I was just like, oh, nasty type thing. And then the final nail in the coffin for her and I, where I had to just go ahead and let it be known because she moved funny, was because we were talking about something in regards to Chris Brown and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, the hate for Chris Brown is simply online because that man continues to sell out, you know, arenas and stuff like that. And she had hit me with the advice, are you a Chris Brown? If you got an issue with something that he did when he was a child and the other party in that situation has forgiven him and moved on, I said, I feel like us as the public should move on too. And she was like, oh, I just can't get behind that. I was like, we can agree to disagree, right? Left it at that. So, you know, I happen to notice, paying attention to the live, I see it underneath her name that it's a plus little sign to add her like as a friend type shit. And in my head, like, bitch, why is this here? Like, you know, we already friends, whatever the case may be. I noticed that, oh, you unfollowed me and then you blocked me to make sure that I unfollowed you as well because you didn't want me seeing your shit, whatever the case may be. So that's when I brought it up to y'all, like, yo, watch her. Because she is very much Olandria this, Olandria that, da 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 da. She had honestly stopped talking about Olandria when it wasn't getting her the views that she was getting previously. But then when Olandria started getting a little bit more motion, that's when she started coming back talking about it and stuff like that. She made a couple lives about me, talking about me. She started a little homophobic train and stuff like that, talking about, oh, I knew that he was a FAG. You know, I just knew, I was just waiting for it to come out, this, that, and the third. Mind you, I gave this girl grace simply because her daddy had just died. So I, being a kind person, just chalked up all of this emotion to her losing her dad, daddy's girl losing her dad at a young age. You know, you don't know how to process that stuff like that. But then a few months after, you back on live, bringing my name up, and I ain't spoke about you at all.
Yeah, it was very strange. And again, I went to do my own research, and that's when I saw the videos. And again, she deleted them, but we had the conversation. I think all of this happened like in December. So a lot of
She
this stuff is
deleted them
happening
because I
behind the
spoke up about
scenes.
it.
Yes, a lot of this stuff was happening behind the scenes. So we tried, you know, like, hey, girl, what's going on? And she started going back and forth. And then when you're going back and forth with people, when you start to resort to looks and isms, you lost the plot. You're already
Very
losing the
much.
plot.
And
Yeah,
that was her
don't call
whole
nobody
thing.
out that name. Yeah.
Can I say
Okay.
something about this whole thing?
Go ahead.
I want to say something real quick.
This is
to
not
them.
my
Go ahead,
space.
please.
And then I'm gonna turn on the comments. This is absolutely a Chris Brown hate page.
Yes.
It's also
It's okay.
a Nicki Minaj hate page. I just want to
Yeah.
be clear because you know people like to clip my lot. Spice is speaking for himself. Okay. And I'm going to I let people come up on my panel that disagree with me. That doesn't bother me.
Can I say this? I
Yes.
absolutely respect that. I
Yeah.
respect people not liking who I like. It's the fact of don't just be disrespectful and say nasty things about my fave or whatever the case may be. You don't gotta like her. That's perfectly fine. I ain't here to make you like her. You ain't gotta like Chris Brown. I understand. You as women, I understand. As a woman, you have your feelings towards Chris Brown and the situation, everything like that. Political views. I'm a man through and through. Okay, so how a woman feels in a situation and everything like that, that is on you, baby. I can't hate you for this. Like, this is a Nicki hate page, Chris Brown hate page. That's fine. I've been in them spaces. Yeah, I've been in those spaces. It's just all about respect. That's
Yeah,
all I
I
care
think
about.
me and you talked about that, and we just agreed to disagree. He was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I used to love Nikki. I love Megan now. He was like, okay, and that was we moved on.
I like Meg too. Like it's one of those things. Like for me, I'm a stan of Nicki, but I love female rap. Like I love female rap across the board. I got songs in my phone. I got Cardi B songs in my phone. Like I like female rap. But if you're gonna ask me to pick a side, I'm gonna stand on the side of Nikki. Just like it, that's just what it is. But I'm not gonna really. That's why I really try not to get on here and talk about Cardi or Meg and stuff like that because I'd be hypocritical because I'd be up in here busting down wet ass hello baby, I'll be up here. I'm sorry, I can't do
Yeah, because
that.
I mean the song is catchy. Period.
Baby, if the beat knocks, I'm a get behind it.
Make it
So
rock. And I just
that's
was,
just
we
me.
just wanted to make sure that you had a platform to, like say your piece, especially since you was getting some H slurs thrown at you, some F
It was
slurs
to be
thrown at you.
expected. It was
So
to be expected, especially in a very female dominated space and everything like that, in a female dominated fandom. I knew eventually that somebody was going to throw them slurs and stuff like that when it gets too close to home. Again, accountability is a lot of things that people in general across the board, man or woman, are allergic to. I am not. I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire as I would expect people to hold my feet to the fire and hold me accountable to the things that I say and did. I expect that of the people too. Hold your fave accountable for the actions and stuff that they did. This is the internet. It's always here. Like people, you thinking you're saying like, no, you're opening your mouth too fast because you're saying one thing and here comes somebody quickly negating what you just said. Jeremiah just found that out in real time. You got to be careful what you post on this internet because it's forever. Don't think that just because you deleted it, somebody ain't catch a screenshot of it. Like
I completely agree. And you can't, again, and I think I said this earlier. So for all the new people, I've said this. It's okay that you weren't initially a fan of Nick and Alandria being together, or you didn't see it. You didn't see it for them, and you slowly throughout the season you became a fan. But to come in to that space that has already been established and put yourself as top dog, knowing that you talk cash money shit.
Lauren, can I
It's
say,
evil.
can I
It's evil.
can I
Hold
just
on,
say
hold on.
that that is just utter BS when people sit there and say that they did not see it. Okay? To sit there and say that you did not see it from the beginning is absolutely asinine. Asinine. Because literally everybody who has came out the villa has said Nick was trying to pursue Olandria from the beginning. Olandria herself said she would have pursued Nick had it not been for her being an Alabama girl and him being a white man and not thinking. They literally just thought that they were both not into each other just off of where they're from. But we, the public, saw because that's how Nicolandria became a thing. They had edits on top of edits on top of edits on top of edits on top of edits. Like, what do you mean? You mean to tell me to be 10 months out and this is the couple that's still together, still thriving, and still flourishing, and you still want to sit there and say this stuff? You're being purposely ignorant and obtuse. And I'm not going to stand for that. You're not going to play stupid in my face. You're not. This is solely because of a man loving a dark skinned woman who happens to be white, and a dark skinned woman getting everything that she deserves because she asked for it and manifested it. Like Olandria is getting everything that on the internet that she has said that she wanted. The only difference, y'all trying to use her words, she want a black man, she want a black man. Well, I'm so sorry. There was a disconnect somewhere along the lines from the 90s till now where men all of a sudden got too much in their ego where they can't stand behind a strong black woman and let her thrive and be proud of that. So much so that y'all are calling Russell Wilson a simp, a less than a man, because he is happy to stand behind his woman and let her thrive and be her. Like, which way is it gonna be? Do you want her with a black man, or do you not? Like, you want her with a black man that's gonna embarrass her, keep her in the background while he in the forefront, show her off like a trophy? That's what you want her to be.
They think that black women are undeserving and undesirable, and that is why they had all of these scandals of cheating and these made up scenarios and all of this thing, and we had all this back and forth online because they kept saying any white woman Nick stood next to, cheating allegations.
Easy,
So can I ask a
because
question?
a
Hold on,
gorgeous
Spice, I'm sorry. I just want to, because we can go on for hours, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
we know
sorry.
how important this is. No. Like, because it is an important conversation we've been having for the last 10 months because there's so many layers to it. I want to know, because I love that you guys were able to come here and give your experiences given what has transpired over the last 72 hours. Right. And I think it's really important to call this to the forefront. What I would like to know, and I would like everybody to examine this and look at this, right? Moving forward, knowing what space you're in the realm of social media, in the realm of the internet, that's only going to grow. There's no putting this horse back in the barn. It's only going to grow. How do you engage moving forward? How do you, I think there needs to be an examination of how we engage just as a whole moving forward and how we continue, because there are people who are going to be held accountable and who will receive that and accept that. And then there are people who are going to be like, you don't pay for my internet, you don't pay for my phone, and it is what it is, right? So how do you as an individual now engage with that and move forward and go, you know what? I do still have the option to block you, move on and scroll because I know you're no longer going to receive it. Or do you continue to what's going to proverbially feel like shouting into the ether? You know what I mean? I think that that's how
I'm at the point now. For me, I'm at the point where I'm just blocking because within the last
We do
72
protect
hours,
our space.
Right.
The whole reason we brought up
hold on.
CHC mods.
Desi. Take a breath, because
Excuse
I think you're
me?
not hearing. Hold on, take a breath.
I am
think you're
hearing
what
you,
I'm
though.
saying. Wait.
Because I just feel like you're putting it back on us.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm
no,
saying. That's why I said
she's
that's why I
basically
said
asking
hold.
how are we going to move going forward, and I'm just basically saying for me that I would just be blocking because for me there's no need for me to waste my breath anymore. You know, within the last 72 hours with Shellbox posting that clip of Soul saying what she's saying and she commenting underneath that little thing like, you know, oh, I hope my fans whatever da. I have literally been getting messages calling me again all of these slurs and stuff like that versus me responding in kind and stuff like that. I'm protecting my peace by simply just blocking because I'm not gonna, you're looking for a reaction and I'm not one of those people. I'm not an internet thug. I don't do a keyboard thugging and stuff like that. I'm from Florida. I will happily pull up to your address if you want to drop the pin. I'm very much a drop the pin person. So you're not
Listen,
about to
as a
drop
fellow
the pin.
Floridian, I feel that.
You're not,
As a fellow
and
Floridian,
I'm from
I feel that.
Jacksonville, so I'm very much drop the pin. If you're not finna drop the pin, shut up, because baby, playing with me, you will get toe tagged. And I'm from Alabama too. You will disappear without a trace messing with me. So
and I feel
I'm
like
just at
that's
a
kind of
point.
where, and I'm thank you for answering because I kind of feel like that's where I wanted to see like where, like how do we move on, right? Because I feel
Just
like
block.
Well, I feel like I really
I
want to say
kinda feel like,
something then because I'm trying to explain how I'm trying to move on and why we even brought this up. We have been harassed. We have blocked people. We have protected our peace. We have stopped making commentary. In a lot of instances, we have stopped. People are still harassing us. I have plenty of information from within the fandom of CHC mods taking our content for months now and taking it over to Twitter and making us a topic of conversation, targeting us.
They create second and third pages after you block
saying
the first
heinous things to us. I was just recently removed from CHC because I blocked somebody for when protecting my peace. because
Same.
they were adding BetterHelp and calling me a psycho and saying I'm crazy. Somebody from within the fandom that says that they protect and care about Black women, talking to me like the people that come at Olandria every day. So for me, I want to be left alone. I'm not antagonizing people. I don't, and like, if I want to talk about a show or critically comment on people's public figures' behavior, that is within reason. I can block people. I welcome people to block me. I have us being targeted by people that feel they have authority in the fandom is the topic of conversation. This is the repeating pattern. We are now addressing the CHC mods that have harassed and targeted us. We started with Nicolandria Core. We started with all these people that tried to suppress us. Here we are now with CHC, who have specifically targeted Spice and I. Things that Alandria would not align with. None of us should align with. The things that people have done to us, what they have said. So it is triggering to be told, how do you move on from this? We want to be left alone.
Also,
no, listen, and I don't want you to feel like, hold on, really quickly, I don't want you to feel like I was saying, okay, you just need to move on, because that's why I told you to take a beat, because that's not at all what I was saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
It was a.
You were
understand
pressing that. Well, like, how do we move on? And
I was asking. Yeah, I was asking as a whole, not you or.
But you're asking
Spice specifically
us as a whole how we move on. How do we know?
Hold on. Yes,
You mean like the fandom?
And I think.
So maybe we should open the comments and all of that, but like, it's not on Spice and I.
It's the same question that Star's Journey asked earlier, right? If we're at a place like I think, right, we know how these people are showing up. And there were several examples laid out today, right, of how when individuals or people that claim that they are, fan pages, whatever, when they get pedestalized, what can happen, right? And so how do people now move differently, right? How does the fandom respond knowing that it's going to happen, right? It's not, I don't think that's a question anymore. I think the question is what Star Journey said earlier. How does the fandom respond now to that?
Well, the fandom as a whole and then fans individually is two different things, I feel like, because as a fandom, as a fandom as a whole, we definitely can do the whole blocking and moving on. But those fan bases have targeted individuals such as Desi, myself, and Sam. So for us, blocking and moving on isn't as easy for the masses, because we can block and they will just come back with a second, third, fourth burner to continue with the harassment of us. So it's one of those things, because mind you, I was in my own little corner, in my own little chair, when I got tagged in something that was involving Miss 404 and Shellbox and everything like that, using my words from a live that, just mind you, just having a conversation with my peoples and stuff like that. Like, I am now inserted in something. Now you have other people targeting me. I'm now the phase. Me and Olandria have each other's numbers. We're doing this and everything like that. And I'm very much a protect my peace. Block. I might say something, but you now showing me that you have a different type of energy where you're creating 7, 8, 9 burner pages and stuff like that to come after me. Like, I'm little old me. I don't even have 3K followers. Like, I am a blip in this. So why are you making me a big thing and everything like that? Like, you're making me bigger than the fandom. You're making Desi and I the face of it. Like, I was literally hearing about Desi just in my comments and stuff like that. Same for her. Lo and behold and lo, they pushed us together.
Yeah.
They pushed us together. We became trauma bonding, and then we just started collecting notes together. And it's just like, oh, they've been doing this to you. They've been doing this to me. They've been doing this to you. They've been doing this to me. And then it's one of those things with her being a biracial girl and me liking white boys. It was one of those things that they made us an easy target. And with Sam, because Sam being Haitian and she's speaking so vocally against what's going on in Shellbox and the Haitian culture and everything like that, she's, it's one of those. race trader type things like that. It's literally that in a nutshell for the three of us. Like we can't answer it in a sense as a fandom, because as a fandom, yeah, block and move on and go on. But for us, it's an individual thing. We can block and block it, and that's where I'm at, blocking.
Yeah, like we told y'all on here, Spice had his content spread out, his explicit content. Somebody touched my door, and then CHC clicked up to do some heinous stuff when I was down. So no, I'm not rocking with it. Yes, we are speaking up. So yeah, the quick conversation to move on is gonna trigger me because I didn't press a lot of this shit. I haven't.
We left it
We've taken a
alone.
lot on the chin. But when
We
y'all
literally
touched
left
my
it
door,
alone.
and
Yeah.
I knew it was on weird stuff when I couldn't even have a critical opinion and accept where we arrived with the name, etc. Speak to the bigger issue, accept it, be a participant, never speak ill of it, understand the benefit, and have multiple people come in to silence and dissuade that kind of conversation. Yeah, I'm on alert about that. And then I'm seeing how much, because I'm ignoring it because I wasn't even over on that app. It was data acquisition. I would go into CHC, get some content, and leave. And then I started seeing that there was narratives being spent, and then I'm being on there. So I have to go look at it. And I'm not seeing the negative stuff about me because I didn't want that in my head. I didn't want that to consume me because this stuff is heinous. But after a certain point, I started noticing, oh my gosh, these are moderators in CHC that are constantly making us the butt of the joke, infighting, all of this stuff, targeting us. And it's beyond weird.
They're coming for our livelihood. Like Desi saying they came to her door. My father is a pastor. You got to understand, he owns a church and everything like that. Thankfully, God forbid, I had not told my father what it is that I do as a grown adult and man, choose to make my own choices. My father owns a church. Thankfully, he does not have his public information business on his Facebook page and stuff like that. But you sending something to my father and his church and business and stuff like that, you're now taking away from my father's business and everything like that. You could have. Like it's one, mind you, you're doing this over people y'all claim y'all don't know. Like y'all have never met these people, y'all have never been in the face of them, and y'all are doing all of this as a fan. Like, are you not understanding the depths of where it is that you're going? Like, you're taking it beyond hell. Like, it's never been that serious. It's never been that serious to where you have to touch people's door. You have to
bully, click up in group chats, send us messages, literally be on the timeline. Soul was one of the only people that stood out and said, and then named it, said, y'all are clicking up with snarkers and ops to go up against Spice and Desi, and you guys are supposed to be coming from that CHC mods and the group chats and all these Nicolandria, all that crap, the hierarchies of all that BS, the group chats, everything, wherever y'all be at, right? And y'all be on the line and y'all are all clicked up and you're coordinated and you repeat heinous things and you parrot certain things. Some of us are critical thinkers. I might have listened to y'all a long time ago if you weren't so clicked up and on bullshit every time. And then you guys use us, say terrible things, and then we can't say anything because that's going to reflect bad on Nicolandria because y'all are in CHC acting this way. And when I said, wow, I blocked somebody for my mental health because they're antagonizing me, they're bullying me, I blocked them, I get kicked out of CHC. Yeah, I'm hurt by that. Because why are you talking to me like that? And then other people, other Nicolandrians, other whatever, people in this clique come up and say, well, you know what happens when you block a mod? Why the hell is a mod talking to somebody like this? I've never talked to nobody like that. Nothing me and Spice have done on our own platforms has been anything anywhere near what we've experienced. And I need that to be on the record. Like, I'm tired of gassing.
When we bring it up to
I want to, Spice, if I can really quickly, I want to clarify. I just want to clarify, right? When I ask my question, I feel like I hear the hurt, right? Because we know that like this was the purpose of this, to give you your space to be able to speak to this. And I hear the hurt and I understand. When I ask the question, I don't want you to think, and this is because I want to clarify this too, I don't want you to think I'm telling you, okay, now that we've done this, we've gotten this out, move on. That's not what this is. If this is your answer, like, I'm going to call it out when I see this because I've been personally affected about this. Total respect. That's not what it was. I genuinely was asking, how do you move forward? Does that make sense?
It's just it's different as for you
For
guys.
y'all, like as posters,
Yeah,
like
we become poster children.
I'm just gonna say really quickly. I also have been targeted relentlessly by the fan bases. I have experienced it from Shaloozers. I've experienced it from
the Houdinis.
Honda HQ. I've had Nicolandrians. They don't do the same thing that like the other ones do, but I've had them act a fool in my spaces before too sometimes. So I have experienced it from the fan bases. So I have said explicitly when people have been targeted, I have said, you all cannot tell people to just ignore it. You cannot tell people to just block because they are relentless. They do not stop. And it's one thing when it's 10 people. It's another thing when it's hundreds of people coordinated attacks. It is different.
Do you know how many messages I get that literally say, we're going to take you down like we took down EJ. You F's got to go away. Like, you got to stay out of women's business. Somebody going to put you in the dirt. Da, 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 da. Like, I get this on a regular basis just for simply giving my opinion like everybody else. Like
my question was less about, and I'm realizing now, Gigi, we're asking different questions. My question was less about like, how do you move forward as an individual? My question is more so centered around like, how do you circle the wagon? Because you know that there are going to be people that attempt to infiltrate the fan base, that attempt to cause disruption, that do all of these things. How do you circle the wagon? Is it that, and we can turn on the comments for this part of the question because y'all was just struggling in my comments, which is why we turned them off. Is it that you actually finally have learned the lesson and are like, you know what, even when I don't like a thing, I'm going to sit back and take in the data and see what I might be able to get from it? What can I take from it? Like, is that how you're moving forward as a fan base? Are you just resolving that, you know what, there are going to be some people that just don't fucking get it and I'm just going to be ostracized and mistreated by them? Like, how are we deciding, or how are y'all deciding?
I've just decided to be misunderstood. I've just decided to be misunderstood because I'm not going to waste my breath on beating a dead horse or talking to a brick wall because I'm not going to get nowhere with that. But if you want to go toe to toe with me and everything like that, you want to get in the streets and you want to get in the field with me, that's cool too. It's more so, you know, how I'm feeling on that day. I might block you. I might go toe to toe with you because I know that if I go toe to toe with you, you're really not ready for that. You're not ready for that. I'm doing this for entertainment. You're doing it for a real purpose. So you're going to get way upset before I do. And you're going to end this conversation and everything. I'm going to go on about my business. It just depends on how I feel about the day. But like to just let it go completely and be done with it, I wish. I wish.
I have a question because I saw Twitter the way Twitter was in 2014. I was in college. I was 18 years old. I deleted it. I ain't been back since.
And that's the reason why Olandria, and that's the thing, they're causing problems over there anyway, because Olandria already said out her mouth, don't be bringing problems from one app to another app. Like she, for the most part, is on TikTok. She frequents Instagram on a regular basis. Like that is pretty much her app on Instagram. She come over here to TikTok and stuff like that. She don't really fool la with Twitter like that. So for all the drama and mess to be going over there where she doesn't deal and do, that's where they're able to spread their hate the most and let it flourish and thrive, because it doesn't really thrive on Threads, because that's where Nick and Ola are also at. They're very active. Instagram, it really don't happen too much. TikTok, we're the warriors. We show our face and everything like that. That's also another issue and a problem with some of the people in the fan base, is the fact they have an issue with people who get on and show their face. Tina, you show your face. Lauren, you show your face. I show my face. Desi shows her face. Gigi show her face. Like we all show our faces and stuff like that. So for them on Twitter, they don't have to show their face. They keep it behind a profile pic and their thumbs.
Aren't we all supposed to be this? And aren't we all the same? Like, so CHC is supposed to be for Nicolandria. Desi is for Nicolandria. Spice, you for Nicolandria. Tina, You for Nicolandria, I for Nicolandria.
But
I'm
here's the
very
difference.
confused.
I'm gonna tell you, the confusion becomes because we are actually for Nick and Olandria and Nick fully. Hard stop. 100.
Can I?
Wait, Tina want to talk. What?
Real quick in the comments, y'all are saying that we need to screenshot and post the harassment.
Mm-mm.
TikTok will fucking take your shit down
Mm-mm.
when you do that.
No,
And
ma'am.
it doesn't fucking matter. People do not stop, right? And I get it that you are wanting us to expose people. But I also have to, and I've said this on my page before, I can, the way that I've chosen to do it is if you come to me telling me something that got said about me on another platform, I'm blocking you. Because why are you running it to me? Stay out my fucking DMs with that shit. If I wanted to know, I'd be in the community
Be
looking
on
for
Twitter.
I
I
don't
don't
want
want
to
to see
know.
that. Yeah.
I don't want to see it. If they're
Why
not
does the
bold enough to
fandom
come
need
over
leaders?
here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if they're not bold enough to come over here to my space and say something to me, I don't give a fuck actually.
Y'all
So
forget.
that
Sorry, like,
hold on
I'm
real
sorry. I was
quick,
just
real
saying,
quick.
like,
Hold on, wait.
So I want y'all to understand that you don't have protection on TikTok in the way that people think that you do. You just don't.
Oh, we
Also, I
definitely
do
don't have no damn protection over here. Because if that
no.
was the case, I would definitely be doing the stuff. Like I've been reporting shit left and right, and literally they will sit there and come back and tell me, "Oh, we don't." It's literally a slur, a literal slur that I can report, and they'll come back. We don't see no problem with this. So TikTok will allow y'all to call me out my name. The moment I answer in kind, I'm the problem.
And I also want to say this. I just need to say this because now we're talking about what happens to individual creators, and I have personal experience with this. Asking us to talk about the things that happen to us, even that can draw more friction to our pages. And so I am always cautious of people that are asking us to perform certain things because they're not in your DM. They're not
Not
in
at
your
all.
DMs and they're not in your comments. Okay. And so I just want us to be mindful, right? It's not our responsibility to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm more curious about is instead of y'all having maybe suggestions for us, like, what are y'all going to do differently? Somebody did say we're going to start believing people when they call people out and look for the information, fact check. That's a good tactic. I want to know what you all are planning to actually do. So exactly, Angie, they just want tea. We exist for their consumption, and I refuse to be consumed in that way.
And I
Yeah.
would also
And
like to
I'm sorry.
address the fact that, like, what we say on our pages gets Olandria dragged. That is propaganda. I'm never going for that. Y'all want people. It's not even about that. I literally am just like, these are fair contradictions. People say I don't get to the point. I have brilliant analysis, but I don't get to the point. Somebody said it to me today, and I literally said, because I lay out the pattern. I wait for people to show me multiple times so I can say something. I don't even turn that eye into the fandom very often. But people are saying it gets Olandria dragged. She gets dragged every day for no reason.
Yeah. There's a
So
lot of
don't try to make us the face. You sound like the ops.
there's a lot of narratives going around, especially when we saw that video yesterday from Nicolandria Core, and the fact that she said that someone passed away as a result of bullying because of Olandria's fandom without proof. Where are we getting this from? And then the fact that she said she was talking about dating white men, and then she said something about like how
Y'all,
she
we
feels
have so
about
many
herself.
ops in here. Why are
she
people?
said Ola had. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
She said
I just
Ola
wanted
had.
to say really quick, a lot of people that are saying that Spice and I get people dragged are following us. This is what we're talking about. The people that are saying we get Olandria dragged are following us. So you follow us, you harass us, you report us, you do all of these things, and then you say, then you want us to believe you. Leave us alone. These
And
same
that's why we're
people
on
that
high
are following
alert
us are saying this
when we
about us
come
in the
in
comments.
being
That's
the way that we
weird.
are.
Yeah,
Like
and
that shit is
Yeah.
ridiculous. The hate that we get on a constant day to day, hourly, minute to minute type of thing. Like I can close my eyes for a good 4 hours for a cat nap and wake up and I'm in some bullshit. My name, them being called out, my name, this, that, and the third. Like it is honestly ridiculous. And I hate that I'm being made that I started this when I didn't do any of this. Like, I just want to be left alone. Like, I
I
give
don't
my
think that's a
opinion.
fair assumption to you, Spice, especially since a lot of people really truly believes that the internet is not a real place and there's no consequences for the things that they do online and how they maneuver online. And these are people's real lives. And how are you going to come on someone else's page and
The
tell them what
internet
to
is not
post?
a
If
real
you don't
place,
like
but there
what
are
Spice posts,
consequences for your
there are
action.
yes. And
And
whatever
can I
Spice
say
and
I'm a
Nicolandria,
testament?
yes.
I just gonna say I'm a testament to the internet being to the internet having consequences. Right before Christmas, I sat in the FBI's office for hours, because a lot of people don't realize I work for the government. So I
My
have
mama do
access
too.
to certain things. And I sat in that office and I asked the questions that I do because, like Tina, I'm not a stranger to being harassed. I have had people slip my DM. That's why when Spice say he from Florida, I tell people all the time, baby, I live in South Florida. I'm unhinged as fuck. You hear me? You see me shaking my head? The screws be loose sometimes.
Unhinged.
I be crazy. Listen, I be crazy just because the day ended. Why? And I tell y'all all the time, y'all hear me and I say y'all don't want pre-therapy Gigi. But I say this because several summons were served to don't fuck with me, right? So when I ask these questions, that's the space that I come from, that I've been there. It's not easy to ignore this shit. And y'all who have seen my page, my kids are on my page. And I have no problem with them being there because I already know y'all not gonna fuck with the people I claim on my taxes. That's not gonna happen.
Okay,
I don't
period.
play those games, right? So I totally understand and I empathize with the struggle you guys are going to, because it's not easy to ignore and there are steps to take. And it's hard in the comments for you to ask, to Tina's point, people to sit there and like put this out there and expose that, because it does drive more hate.
Yes.
Right. And it does drive more attention, and it's a stress that you're putting on them that's not necessary.
You're putting it back on the
and
person
that's
who's gotten
okay.
affected.
Right.
And it's not their problem.
I'm the
Why are you
victim. Like, I'm
policing
the
people
victim. We're the
on their
victims.
page? Spice and Desi and Tina and Gigi and and everybody getting bad. Everybody can post what they want on their page. And guess what? If you don't like the things that we are posting, you can go on your own page, you hit that plus and you hit record. You start recording what you want to say because that's your page. And if you don't like what Tina and Spice and Desi post, block them, scroll past, hit I'm not
Please.
interested, so you could see less of things like that and then move on. But the fact that people are being harassed, unacceptable.
That's
People be
another
forgetting the
thing.
black
I
bot.
know Bad and It's Me want to jump in. Go ahead, Bad, and then go ahead, It's Me.
I was just saying,
That
people be forgetting the block button exists. Like, if you really don't want to see something, just block it or press not interested and tell the FIP you don't want to see it anymore. And also, Twitter is a cesspool of hate. So that's why I don't like that app. It's a cesspool of toxicity and hate and people who are unemployed and don't have jobs. Okay? People who don't have degrees. Shade, no shade.
Bad, please give me your thoughts, and then TK, I'm gonna let you wrap us, my love.
No,
people
it's
have
me.
been saying it in the comments for a while, and I was going to say another disconnect within the fandom is people trying to police. It's not that people don't understand that we're all supporting the same people, it's that they want to choose and determine how you support them. They want everybody to support in the same way, and that's not how this works. The
Boom.
internet has ruined fandom. The rise of the internet, the evolution of the internet has ruined it because everybody wants to have some stake in how things are run, and that's never been how it's been. It's also a problem when the people who we're fans of become too aware of what's going on. It was never supposed to be that way.
Yep.
When they get involved, it brings too much drama to them. It brings too much vitriol to them. That's not how it's supposed to be. If people had issues with other fans in the fandom, you deal with it that way. Don't go over here talking about the people you support because you're mad at somebody else that supports them. That makes no sense. You
You better
cannot
speak,
control other
Buttercup.
people's actions. You can only control yourself. People are stressing themselves out about what everyone else is doing. It makes no sense.
Literally,
That's
the
all I'm
live,
saying.
the live
Oh,
that got
through
clipped.
Buttercup. Yeah.
Tata's live got clipped yesterday. I'm not even speaking in the clip.
Oh yeah,
I'm not talking. I'm just on the panel, but I'm the topic of discussion.
Of course.
This is what I mean when it's like, oh, just do this or just do that. It doesn't matter. They have just decided that some of us are the enemy, period, full stop. And they're
There's a
not, they
clip.
are relentless.
There's a 10-second clip that they have of me, and the clip does not even match the description of whatever it is that they're talking about. They're talking about one little thing, and they have a clip of me speaking, and what I'm speaking and what their title is not even the same. It's very much they want to make Spice out to be a bad person. Some shape, form, or fashion on this side where Desi and I are at, they have deemed it that Desi and I are the spokesperson and face of Nicolandria, and everything that we say, do, post, or whatever like that is in spokes for Nick, but specifically Olandria, and Olandria agrees with everything. Like, we have all of these type of stuff like that. Like, imagine if Nick and Olandria had took Desi or I, Lauren or Tina, Gigi, one of y'all out to dinner the same way that Lyris was taken out to dinner with Bloated Ken and stuff like that, we would never hear the end of it. We would never hear the end of it. They would just add on to what they've already been saying about us. Like, yeah, they've been in cahoots. See, told y'all back in the villa, they was all doing this, da 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 da. Like, there would be no winning from it. We have no way out of this black hole of whatever this is. Like, no matter where we're reaching, we're just reaching because they won't leave us alone. That's why I'm hoping with season 8 that we get some type of breathing to where they can go find somebody else to throw their fake love and adoration to somebody else. Like, go find somebody else to adore, go find something else to do with your business, and let us breathe. Like, I'm tired of other fan bases trying to come to us to make their fan. Like, no, the whole Leanne and Scott of it all. Like, no, we're not. We just happen to be an interracial couple. We didn't go in expecting to be this. We didn't go in trying to be what it is that you want. Like, no, this is just what it is. Leave us alone. Let us have our thing. Hopefully, when season 8 come out, we can have a breather. We can just love on our people the way we are. It's not to say that the hate is going to go away, but I'm hoping that at least it will go from like 90 to like 40%. Like, they'll get tired. Like, hopefully when season 8, they'll find something to do with their time. But right now it's just exhausting.
Yeah.
To be we're all trauma bonding. Like,
okay, give me your thoughts, and then I am gonna drop everyone except Desi and Gigi again, and just close out with Desi because I created this space for you, and so just want to make sure that you feel like you have come to as much resolution as you can with sharing your piece. So TK, give me your thoughts, my love.
Okay, thanks for letting me up first. I just got a couple of thoughts. So number one, I literally not too long ago, and I just said it again to Spice, about finding a space where almost everyone is watching, mainly the fans, so that way stuff like this could happen. For example, like obviously when it comes to certain people, we have to be able to pay attention and think for ourselves. Like, for instance, whoever the semi person was in the comments that immediately directed their energy towards Spice and Desi, you have zero followers or 6 following, nothing on the page, it's private. I'm gonna pay attention to stuff like that because it doesn't seem like it's a genuine, you know what I mean? Like, it's not nothing genuine behind that. And while you could possibly attempt to put that on them, you really can't, because even if they had no place in the fandom, Alandria would still get attacked. You know what I mean? And if you were also in the live earlier, you would have heard Desi taking some accountability and talking from her standpoint. Same with Spice. And the goal that they've been having for a while is to look for the people that are the most, that they deem problematic. And that's why they always wait for them. So, okay, I know Spice is going to speak negative about these people. I know Desi might say this about this person, and so forth and so on. And so they wait for people to go live, they sit in the lives, and then they wait for certain parts to clip. You know what I mean? Or they take a screenshot, which is even worse to me, because if you take a screenshot, then you don't really have anything. You just want to be able to say, like, look what they're doing, they're on live and blah, blah, blah. Now, the other side of that, too, is respecting boundaries, because, like, for me, I early on was a Shalandrian. You know what I mean? After the whole Ace interview, I was like, okay, you know, I'm pushing you to the side, but I'm still rooting for Shelly. And I know not everybody will agree with my opinion, but I have my opinion, and the people that respect me enough understand that, because much like me, there are some people that still want both of them to win. I understand, like, it doesn't have to be like a tit for tat. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how you feel, the only thing that I always say is never diminish what either of them have going on as far as their accomplishments. So for me, I respect Spice, Desi, you, anyone else that goes live, and I understand that I may not agree with the same things, but also, again, I respect that person. So I know that people won't agree with me. Sometimes they don't like it, and they'll tell me that, you know, and I respect that. It's not enough for me to give it energy, because the same way I want someone to hear my opinion is the same way I know that they want to be heard too. So I'm not into like the policing or policing people's lives. And I think that that's for that person to do. And I think as much as Spice and them are talking about blocking, other people on other fan bases have to do the same. And so I would just say, ask yourself why they're not doing that. Because if I'm bothered by that person, why do I feel the need to keep clipping, screenshotting, and so forth when I can just block them? You don't need to keep every single day or every single week post something about the person, because again, it gets to a point where it's like, what's your end goal with this? You know what I mean? One or two times it's like, oh my God, like, let's block. Like I see all the time in the Nicolandria tag when they say, oh, block this person, boom, one and done. But if you notice the patterns, and you notice that they always target the same individuals. We don't have to agree, because we don't all like the same people. I think it's about respecting each other, and much like also what Spice says, is holding people accountable. I may not have agreed with certain things that Shelly has done, but it's not enough for me to like not root for her, or to say like, hey, you're like, she's doing this and that's amazing, and vice versa. It doesn't matter. Like, everybody can have their opinions. So for me, I think the same way that they're acknowledging and taking accountability and talking about blocking, at the same time, they are allowed to feel the way that they feel, because it's consistently happening even when they're not talking about people. And vice versa on the other side. Ask yourself, why do you feel the need to keep clipping someone and screenshotting? Why are you so determined, as if it takes multiple weeks, multiple months to show who you think someone is? So I'm just saying on my part that I think that have discernment, give context to things, also respect who people want to follow, as long as they're having the conversations that, well, I like this person, however, I didn't agree with this. It does not mean you're not a fan of the person, that you can still, much like Spice, because I heard what y'all said, I'm a Barb. So trust me, I already know, but I don't agree in her political stance. I'm still rooting for her, because I'm someone that I'm talking about like mixtape, and I'm talking about before she was on the scene mixtapes, that I was always a fan of hers. And when I saw everything happening, I'm like, damn, we went from Nicolandria Core to Shelly to this to that, the third. And I wanted people to really focus on what she said, because that should have been the main focus, because you're putting something on Alandria that you don't have evidence. And when we're holding your feet to the fire, you're backtracking. And the other side of that is even with the Met Gala stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen both sides. So I know both sides are getting hate and things like that, or things are being said about each of them. But when it came to Met Gala, all I wanted to see is the same way we had her trending that day, I wanted it to go into next day. Because again, I'm a Barb. I be on Barb Twitter. So we've learned to kind of move in a way of promoting our person more and then clapping back after, for the most part. So for example, Met Gala, trend all day, trend the next day. So when people are being funny and taking out of context about people's statements about the Beyonce, or, oh, she's not invited and yada, 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 I would have showed them how she was trending. I would have showed her that in the same conversations that Kim Kardashian was, there's Alandria. You know what I mean? And then had my clap back. But that's me personally. But I think that in the moments where there's a lot going on, that we should also still make sure that we should be promoting Alandria in the same breath. And at the same time, not policing people for how they feel, because I just went through that a couple of times where someone came at me or trying to put things on me or trying to police me. And I'm not for that. It's my space. If you don't like it, you can do your own live or block me. I'm okay with that. And I feel like the same energy should be given to Any other live creators, anyone on this panel, people in the comments, it's okay to disagree. But again, like the same way that they're actively telling you, because I know that they love the clip again, and you will just probably hear what you heard Spice say and then make that seem like this was the entire live. People have taken accountability. People came together without Alandria even the whole fan base basically came in here to have a conversation well before she made her post about Penthouse Landria. Like, people came in here to resolve, to add context, to take accountability, to be vulnerable. So take that away, if anything else. And the same way that they're saying, I'm going to do this, also respect the fact that if you see them crashing out, more than likely they have a valid reason to crash out. And on the other end, for the people that want to continue to clip same said people, ask yourself why it's so hard for you to just block them and move the hell on. And that's all I'll say.
Yes. I know you're going to drop us, Tina, but I'm so happy that it was resolved between last night and today. I'm glad that everyone got an opportunity to speak their piece, and I hope that we can move forward. Everyone engage as season 8 approaches, engage with the content creators that you love. Do not raise your blood pressure this summer. If you don't like it, block, remove that person, delete, move on, and engage with the people you like. I'm gonna be on Tina and Colin's lives, y'all. Y'all finna see me on their lives, and that's the people I like to be live with, and that's just that. Okay? So I'm gonna see y'all later. Love y'all.
And thank you for letting me up.
Like, y'all go in peace. I'ma go in peace, you go in peace. Don't be in my girls and my boys. Don't be in their DMs and stuff.
Period.
Because I know my voice is cute. I know my profile picture is cute, but my mouth ain't cute. That's okay.
Girl, anybody with the brain know that Buttercup looking like that is about to crash out. So,
Yo, if you love Powerpuff Girls, you know how Buttercup's
baby, the Buttercup is the crash out, but no, but you need to change your picture to Bubbles, because Bubbles will go more with your cute little voice. And then when you crash out, because Bubbles was the true crash out of the Powerpuff Girls. Because baby, when she put that little thing to 11,
Thank you.
and she beat Mojo down, baby, like Bubbles is not to be played with. Like, y'all want to keep her in that cute little crayon little box. Like, keep her there, because when she step outside that little crayon box, Bubbles is not to be played with. She got Buttercup scared of her, okay?
I might have to, but I love green. That's why I picked Buttercup.
Oh no, Buttercup! You see, I got all
and
three.
I got a bob right now. So.
I got all three, so I can't pick one. But I appreciate you guys having me on here and allowing me to speak my piece. You guys are all lovely. I love the fact that everybody kind of was on the same accord. Like, this was very much needed, you know, to have us come together and situate some stuff. I would just like to say, everybody be on y'all P's and Q's, because it's about to get even worse as we get closer to the summertime. Because again, they're going to try any way they can to knock us down a peg or two to try and show us something. But support your favorite content creator. You know, do your own research before ahead of time, so that way you're not just listening to what you hear and see. But yeah.
Period. Thank you, Bad. Thank you, TK. Thank you, Spice. I'm gonna drop all of y'all and keep Desi. I want
Bye.
Desi the
Love you
opportunity to
guys.
love you,
Bye.
Tiana.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for hosting this space too.
Of course.
Thank you.
I also want to tell everyone that I know it's a bunch of y'all that are hanging out in my queue. Please feel free to come back and request. I apologize we didn't rotate as much as I usually would, but please feel free to come back and request. I really just wanted to hold this space for Desi to be able to speak her piece, get it off, and really like feel like it was clear. So Desi, I do want to end with you. How are you feeling as we are wrapping the panel?
I feel great. I appreciate Gigi you know clarifying. I'm sorry anybody that's gotten the bad end of some emotions in the last however many 24, 36, whatever. I hope people heard Spice and I that we have been smeared. We have been harassed. We have dealt with a lot. We have kept a lot in. Okay, friend. I don't know. I'm quick with the block button. Hold
Me
on. Let
too,
me get to
Desi.
you
I be like, block,
before.
block.
Yeah. But I just want to say that I appreciate so much you guys giving me a space because I genuinely do want to move on. There's so much. I always say Nicolandria would never have to post again and I would have enough content to make positive content, right? We could get into the fun and the academic stuff that I, would love to talk about that's not focused on those other islanders. I thought a long time ago I would be able to just focus on Nicolandria. So that is where I aspire to be, but Spice and I have continually been brought into things and we've actually been pretty resistant on approaching certain conversations just because we do want to be free of certain things and we already said the things that we said, right? And a lot of people are upset for things we said last year, right? So it's like even if we're moving different, we're not being allowed that, right? And so that causes people like us to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna talk, right? I'm gonna I was being good, but now I'm not gonna be good because now I'm getting it from everybody. So we want people to work with us, right? Give us the benefit of the doubt. We care about this fandom as much as we care about Alandria, right? And I think a lot of people say, oh, I love Alandria, but like we're in a shared space in a community and we have a lot of respect for y'all and we don't expect y'all to know every detail and we deal with a lot of things and we understand the consequences, and I'll say it again, of our free speech, right? And we've owned it in a lot of ways. But when we speak up about things, when it comes to people in the fandom, I want people to hear us because we have dealt with the things and we shared them with you guys. So when other people are being, questioned and they start bringing that stuff up, I think you guys should have your discernment to look at them sideways, right? Because when do people bring these things up, right? Spice and I have shared it, but it's not when we're up here. We're clearing the air and stuff, right? And people can have their issues with us, but we're not the people that are, people finding screenshots or going live with us disparaging Alandria and having this kind of court, right? So until that day comes, please give us the benefit of the doubt. And thank you, Tina. Thank you, Gigi, so much. I'm endlessly grateful. So thank you to the viewers too for listening and hearing me out. Thank you.
Thank you, Desi. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on and choosing to sit in like some moments that I'm sure felt uncomfortable for y'all. I know we had to put y'all in comment purgatory a couple times. Y'all was tripping. But I hope that everybody at least took something. And I'm not gonna lie, the something that I hope that you took was for you to take a breath when you're feeling aggravated by something you're hearing about one of your faves and just get curious as to whether maybe there's data that person has that you don't, that maybe if you had access to might give you a better picture. That's it.
Yes. Thank you so much. And Tina, can we get a kudos to Tina, y'all? Tina not only held it down and is able to create this space where Desi and Spice and TK and Lauren and other creators, it's me, thank you for coming up, were able to come and share their experience, right? And able to come in and speak what is happening with them in a space, in a neutral space in which they can express that without having, to feel like they need to perform. And I think that it's very important. And as consumers of their content, I would just implore you to be conscious of what you're asking them to perform, because it is, like Tina likes to say, it's an energy transfer, right? And I don't think you guys really realize that it takes a lot for them to continue to show up in the face of the pushback and the adversity and the vitriol that they get. So it's a lot, right? And so some of the reactions that you may see from them comes from that space of hurt because, they thought with sharing energy with you guys that, you would give them some sort of understanding. And ask questions. The curiosity isn't just in doing your research. If you're curious about anything they say, their comment sections and their DMs are open. asking a question and doing so respectfully without expecting an answer or thinking that you're owed something is not hard to do, right? So just keep that in mind moving forward, because people do have lives outside the internet. Like, there is a real space that exists outside the internet. And, just go ahead and do that. Enjoy yourselves, consume media wisely. And just, y'all have fun. Y'all done turn me off. I'm being bullied into watching season 8. I need y'all to know this. And I want to have one more disclaimer before we close this out, because this is a disclaimer that I think is very important, that I have shouted from the rooftops since joining Tina's panels. And I don't think y'all be taking people seriously. And honestly, I blame No Child Left Behind, because the comprehension just isn't there. And this is honestly why I be sticking y'all in comments jail. Like, honestly, it's a little bit like I get a little bit of pleasure from it, because y'all just don't listen. Tina is a licensed therapist. She is not your therapist. She is my TikTok therapist, okay? Not yours. Mine. We are working through my inability to share with y'all. We're working through this. We're not there yet. I'm healing, not healed. No. Listen, like, you don't get blocked. Like, you don't get blocked. Okay? That is Bad's TikTok mom and my TikTok therapist. Like, that is it. That is the extent of which I'm willing to share. Like, y'all need to get over yourselves. Get over yourselves. Because it's not happening. So y'all sitting here and Tina talk about control. No. Run that past Gigi first. Run that past me first. I need y'all to know that. Because when I see y'all in these comments, if my finger accidentally slip and mute y'all know why. I'm letting you know. Don't say you haven't been warned.
I already knew what she was going to say for her last disclaimer, y'all.
See, she knows. Listen, we have these discussions. She knows. That thing, she knows. She knows, because she knows. And I need y'all to know this. It's
drop Gigi. Says what's up. What's up to the chat from
Big C.
I will say this too, to Gigi's point. My DMs are open. I have had people hear something on my live and be like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that," and they come in my DMs and they're like, "Tina, hey, girl, this was said. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Could you give me more of your perspective?" And I respond and we have dialogue. Like, I am not afraid, and I would prefer you ask me. Ask me for clarity. Ask me for my position. I am always open. Like Spice said in the comments, I am always open to good dialogue. Like, I promise you I am. So thank you all so much for being super brave, as we do in my space. We're very brave. We're very courageous. Thank you for sitting in the hard stuff. And thank you for hearing people out, even when it felt uncomfortable, because we can do hard things. Okay. Love y'all.
Toodles. Hey, Tina, wait, one more message. I hear that I got this homeboy who want to holler at you, right?
Bye.
His name is Chris.
Bye. Don't text me. Bye.